Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. HG got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get into
down
Smith.
like
What a pass! That's it! Dorian Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
Real here. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. You're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on that.
HG on deck, stats loaded and primed. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking ball.
Breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. For the business! He's not for the business!
We see through the hype. Call out the feed.
So don't you go stand in your nose. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. HG and Caveman back in the house. Today, not in the studio. We'll be back in there tomorrow morning. But we got a pretty fun week in the NFL, NCAA. I want to start with the NFL because the Saints almost gave me a brain aneurysm. But we could save it for later. HG, go ahead. Go down this top 25 matchups. What do we got cooking up for the fans this week?
Gotcha. Well, before I give you that top 25 recap, did want to just give a shout out. It was the sports equinox yesterday. The only day this year where there was MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL games on.
Nice.
Had a couple of blowouts in hockey. Had some pretty impressive performances on the NBA side. Larry Markkinen dropped 51. Tyrese
First
Maxey
50 piece since Karl Malone.
Right. That was kind of a crazy stat to hear. Murray and Maxey both dropping 43, another Jokic triple-double. Then, all right game with the Chiefs and the Commanders, but we had a doozy of a World Series matchup. Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers against Vlad Guerrero and the Blue Jays. It was electrifying. Longest World Series game, just in terms of total time, 18 innings. So we got 9 extra innings in that. We'll have a full breakdown here because there were there were so many different superhero moments from different people in this game on both sides, really. But it ultimately ended with Freddie Freeman, Mr. $1 Million Teeth, getting the walk-off solo home run to give the Dodgers a 2-1 series lead. And
I got a chance to finish out the series, get the gentleman sweep in LA.
Exactly.
Pretty crazy.
Yes. But if you want that more information on that, make sure you tune in tomorrow when we have our Till the Final Whistle Brothers Sports Edition. But let's get back to Football Frenzy and our top 25 recap.
Let's hit it.
I'm going to start more towards the bottom here, and with the number 25th team in the nation, the Michigan Wolverines. They had the in-state rivalry versus MSU on the road, but a big win for the true freshman Bryce Underwood. That defense looked good. They ran the ball really well. 31-20 victory for the Wolverines. They're now 6-2. Number 24, Arizona State, hosting a really good Cougars team, a game we said could be a trap game for A-State going into this one. And boy, was it.
It was, man.
Connor Wayman was a monster through the air and on the ground with his legs. No Jordan Tyson for the Sun Devils. Certainly hurt their offense in this one. Shut out until the fourth quarter, where they did score 16 to make it kind of close, but it wasn't enough of a rally. They lose 24-16. All right. The Illinois Fighting Illini go into a tough Washington Huskies building, and this is a really good Huskies offense. They get blanked pretty badly. Do put up 25 points of their own, but they end up giving up 42 for a 42-25 loss. And some of those issues that Illinois' defense has had all season really came to light pretty badly in this one there. Tough loss for Illinois. Now we go to number 22, Texas. They were on the road in Mississippi State. The Bulldogs actually looking to get their first SEC win this season. It was looking good. They were up, 38-21 early in the fourth quarter with a furious rally by the Longhorns. Get this game into overtime. Arch Manning gets a score, and the defense gets a stop. Texas comes back to win 45-38.
That was an awesome game.
Had to go on the road to play the number 21 ranked Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati, I wrote you off so much earlier in the season. Didn't think of you as a legitimate, threat in the Big 12. But man, they are cooking right now. Brendan Sorsby is a fantastic quarterback. Bearcats roll 41-20. The Louisville Cardinal hosting the 1-6 Boston College Eagles. BC made this a game for a little bit. They hung in there. But ultimately, Louisville, just some really strong drives. The quick passing game with Miller Moss helped put this one to bed. The Cardinal get the 38-24 win. Now we're getting into a little higher here. Memphis hosting
moving up
with ranked South Florida. And Memphis put together kind of a furious comeback here in the fourth quarter, outscoring USF 17-0. and coming away with a 34-31 win. We'll have more on that game here in a bit. The Tennessee Volunteers looking to rebound after a blowout loss to Alabama last week. They go into always a tough and weird place to play in Kentucky, and they get the job done. The offense was cooking. Aguilera nearly 400 yards passing, 56-34 Vols roll. All right, Virginia going on the road to play North Carolina, Bill Belichick's Tar Heels. Really have Virginia giving them some problems for a lot of this game.
They made it a game for sure.
Went to overtime. Virginia sneaks out of there with a 17-16 win, but with the chaos of college football this year, coming away with a win is always a big deal. Then we go to Texas Tech, looking to rebound after a tough loss last week, and they really didn't have a whole lot of competition in the win. I'm just going to be honest. They're down to their third string quarterback. It was Oklahoma State, 42-0. Not really a nice way to put a spin on that. The Cowboys just slacked.
Yeah, just straight up beat down. That was bad.
BYU got down on the road early. Iowa State had a pretty comfortable looking 27-17 lead at one point, and then the Cougars score 24 unanswered and come away with a pretty convincing 41-27 victory. Don't look now, BYU 8-0.
Staying undefeated. Watch out.
Classic and marquee SEC matchup between the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Missouri Tigers. No Bo Prabla for Mizzou in this one. Certainly caused some problems for their offense, but they did get a late rally to tie it. But Diego Pavia leads his team down the field for a last-second touchdown to get the victory, 17-10. Vanderbilt, best start in school history, or like first 7-1 start since like 1955 or something. They are having a historic season. They're in
the top 10 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
They moved up to the 9th ranked team now after this win. Man.
Exciting things going on with those Commodores. All right. Miami looking for a rebound at home after a disappointing loss to Louisville. You get the Stanford Cardinal coming in here, and this one wasn't close. It was actually 7-7 at halftime, but then Miami's offense just exploded in the second half to the tune of 35 points. 42-7 is your final. Miami rules. All right, Oklahoma hosting Ole Miss. Another fantastic matchup here.
Great game.
Trinidad Chambliss, man, just continues to shine for the Rebels. A highly impressive road victory, 34-26. Ole Miss.
It's 2 in a row now for Oklahoma. 2 losses.
Things are
it'll be tough to come back from.
Might be getting a little desperate down there. All right, Georgia Tech looking to stay unbeaten against Syracuse, and it was a Haynes King masterclass. 495 scrimmage yards, 5 total touchdowns from the Heisman hopeful Georgia Tech rolled Syracuse 41-16. Oregon got into a bit of a rock fight at home with Wisconsin early. Not a super dominant win, but a win is a win, 21-7. Their defense played really well in this one. Offense, very shaky for Oregon. Dante Moore did get hurt and was dealing with injuries throughout this one. Bama, after their 4 straight victories against ranked teams, taking on a banged up and shaky South Carolina team that wasn't having the season they were quite hoping for, but gave Bama quite the scare. Down 14 in the fourth quarter, Bama does rally, scores 15 points late to get the victory, 29-22. Bummer for those SC fans. They were ready to rush the field. All right, now we get into the top three. No Ohio State this week. They were on bye, so we just got A&M and Indiana. How did they fare? Well, A&M on the road against top 25 SEC school and LSU.
They went and got a coach fired.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Aggies went into Death Valley and stomped LSU 49-25. That Great Tigers defense nowhere to be seen. 8-0 Texas A&M. And then Indiana, hosting a UCLA team that had gotten hot, was on a 3-game win streak. Put that to bed real quickly. 35 first half points to get up to a commanding lead. And the Hoosiers beat down the Bruins 56-6.
They're rolling.
Indiana, that's a scary team, man. This is looking more and more like a championship caliber team every week. That is your top 25 rundown. We got some matchups that we got to analyze a little deeper, Caveman. Where are we starting today?
I think we got to start with one team. It was kind of written off as soon as last year's season ended. Didn't think they were going to be as good. Indiana, man. They got a solid receiver with E.J. Williams. Hemby's solid on the ground for him. And Fernando Mendoza is just a gamer, man. He's got the mentality. They won this game 56-6. And he said after the game that they got off to a slow start. They were up 35-3 at halftime. I don't know what about that is a slow start, but this guy, I guess he wanted to score 100 points on UCLA in this one. I mean, they probably could have, but
what I liked most about Indiana, though, is defense that they have, especially this defensive front.
They're nasty.
UCLA just got nothing up front running the football. 25 carries for only 88 yards. That's only 3.5 yards a carry. And there were a lot of negatives in this one. They had, only 3 sacks in this one, but they were getting after Nico, making him look
7 tackles for loss.
Yeah, he looked pretty uncomfortable. 3 takeaways by this team. Set their offense up with a number of short fields, whether it be off of takeaways or just, getting the punts, turnovers on down, what have you. UCLA was 1 for 3 on 4th down in this one and 1 for 11. And, they just started behind the sticks a lot. And that was just a credit to how good this Indiana defense is.
12 for 16 on 3rd down is insane.
Yeah, they're a lethally efficient offense, too. 475 total yards, 12 to 16, like you said, on 3rd down. 2 for 2 on their 4th down conversions. Kept the penalties to a minimum. Just did everything perfect, basically.
Putting themselves, when they are in 3rd down, it's 3rd and short. Manageable, easy gains where they could just get it to their back, get the couple yards they need, and then they got fresh set of downs to work with.
Even if it is, even if they do get into a longer 3rd down situation, like we've been seeing from Mendoza, man, like you can trust him to throw that ball, potentially get you pick up a 1st down for you. Like they're not afraid to just let him drop back and throw it. Really at any time. He didn't have to do that a whole lot in this one, and they just kind of, they were just running them into submission here. 47 carries, the ball control, like 35 minutes on the time of possession. So not a whole lot of, not too many reasons for him to pass in this game, but even when he did, he was really good at it.
And looking at their last 4 games here, at Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, and at Purdue. So looking like pretty easy undefeated finish for Indiana. They can kind of lock all over the rest of the teams.
Right.
Wisconsin.
I don't see them in there giving them problems.
It's unfortunate for the rest of the Big Ten. So Ohio State still got the number 1 seed in the country, but let's see the rest of their schedule. Also insanely easy. They just end the year at Michigan, which they really could lose.
That's one of the big. That is the
They
biggest
really could
problem in
lose.
college football. So you never. Nothing's
It's not like
guaranteed.
Michigan's playing bad either. It's not like they're a bad team.
Well, I mean, Michigan wasn't that good last year, and they beat them. So
Yeah, this year they're even better. They're just a younger team. They've got development that they have to get through.
Yeah.
So. And probably one off season of recruiting. I think Michigan's probably going to be a pretty solid team again.
Back to being a powerhouse.
Because they've definitely got their recruits now to bring some light on their team. Underwood's a big name, so
yeah. And I mean he's like we're good for a true freshman. I mean there are some moments where you're like, yeah, that's where I see the youth of the kid, and he's where he has some struggles and where they don't put the ball in his hands that much to throw it. But he gets stuff done with his legs, and I mean they just when they can, like Michigan will just make it easy on him and get behind that offensive line, which is kind of what they did in this game against Michigan State. I mean that is what they did. I mean the two backs, Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, combined for 262.
Oh my God.
And 3 touchdowns. Underwood also add in a touchdown to that as well on the ground with 5 carries for 26 yards. So yeah, I mean they just when that offensive line is winning up front, that they can just run it down your throat and take a little pressure off of their true freshman QB.
Those are quick scoring drives too, man. They run the ball a lot, but only had it for about a minute longer in the time of possession.
There's a lot of big.
Really just
that's why they can pop you with those big run plays. But then on the other side, yeah, their defense was really good. The secondary did a good job containing Nick Marsh for the most part.
Yeah, 4 deflections, 6 tackle for loss, 4 sacks. Really in the backfield, a lot of all day long in the backfield.
And there's going to be a number of guys going to the league again this year from this Michigan draft class. They always get some really good defenders as well. So yeah, I mean that Ohio State certainly got a better chance of losing a game than I think Indiana does. I mean, nothing's set in stone with the way this season's gone. I mean, we've seen some unthinkable upsets, and things we had, nobody had happening or saw coming. So, I mean, it's been a crazy, unpredictable year. Tons of carnage this season. So you don't want to. Nobody's guaranteed a win, especially this year.
Looking at the rest of Michigan's schedule, it literally has a chance. They have a chance to get a top 4 finish in the Big Ten with a true freshman quarterback. Not really knowing what they were going to go for. Their offensive style is going to stay the same, but didn't really know what the year was going to look like with the true freshman. Got Purdue this week, at Northwestern, at Maryland, and then that last game is Ohio State. So really got a chance to get that 4th seed, and that'll really get a lot of eyes on your team in the offseason. They might be right back up in there in the conversation.
Certainly attract some recruits and some transfers. See, like, oh man, like this team already got a talented roster, and they did this last year, so like it's tempting. You got those guys, they got the Eagle. They're like, man, I go there, I could be the difference of them. Become national title contenders. It's certainly alluring. All right, flipping it over to the SEC now, and we're going to talk about the top team there, the Texas A&M Aggies. Told y'all, man,
They're on fire.
My pick to win it here in the SEC, and I'm still sticking with that. Even though Bama's looking really good, but I believe in A&M. Their defense did a great job bailing them out early in this one because there was some fumbles that they nearly lost that derailed drives, 2 interceptions from Reed. It wasn't his cleanest game as a passer, but he made up for it later on the ground. And they just eventually another game where that offensive line just took control and kind of ran LSU into submission late because this game wasn't crazy. It wasn't a crazy blowout to the second half. In fact, LSU was actually leading 18-14 at halftime. So you were like, all right. I mean, like the Tigers are making a game of this. And then something like a switch just flipped for the offense. The defense negating some like how bad some of those turnovers can be and some of those blown opportunities kept them in it. And then, once they started running the football, the Tigers just had absolutely no answer.
I mean, game that gets Brian Kelly fired from LSU and should definitely get Michael Van Buren Jr. the job over Nussmeier, man, because he's 3 for 4, 50 yards and a touchdown, man. He's already looking better. Yeah. Maybe you got a chance. It's just they haven't been able to get anything going down the field, and this is a team that has some really solid receivers.
I do.
Varian Brown, Aaron Anderson. It's like LSU's offense is so weird when it becomes when you can't get any vertical passing game going at all, and it's just like a screen. Get your guys a quick game, get them into space. Like I get that's a successful way to get your guys going, but they're better at so many other things. Like you have some clean route runners on this team.
Yeah, I think their offense relies too much on the threat of the deep ball, and like the Aggies just weren't scared of it. I mean, they were. No.
So like we know Nussmeier is gonna throw you a duck if it's past 15 yards. It'll be a pick.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna sail it.
Right. I mean, it's like they just didn't have. Anytime they tried to get something going deep, they just didn't have time. I mean, Nussmeier pressured a lot. There was 11 TFLs in this game, no run game to speak of, which doesn't help when you want to push the ball down the field. And then 7 sacks in this one. It was just, I mean, guys were feasting here. Cassius Howe picked up 2. You had TJ Searcy. He had 1.5. DJ Hicks picked up 1.
2 of 13 on third down for LSU.
Yeah.
Behind the sticks all day long.
And we've seen with like A&M, like it. That's my only problem is like we'll see like one side of the ball not play well, but it's like when that one side of the ball isn't playing well, it's like the other side just like dominates and like will be so exceptional and just make some big plays to help keep them in that game. Then eventually either like
too much
the
for them to handle.
Right, like either the defense will finally get that stop or the offense will get going and start putting up points, and then they start to run away with things. And I like the creativity where the passing game wasn't working that much, but you have these like exceptional playmakers in KC Concepcion and Mario Craver, and so some end arounds, reverses, or just like almost basically backwards passes where they're like throwing like swings and screens out of the backfield, things like that, where they're just getting the ball in their hands too and just letting those guys go and make a play.
Did KC Concepcion get a punt return for a touchdown, or like a return something for a touchdown in this?
He did, yes. That's the other thing.
Was him tiptoeing down the sideline. Was that insane, man?
Yeah, we forget about. I forgot to mention the special teams. That's the other big aspect. Like that's flipped field positions for A&M and done some big things for them. And I think Concepcion, he's run He's had at least one more return on the season.
His draft stock's definitely flying up. He's one of the best receivers
Oh yeah,
in college football.
Right now he's without a doubt in my mind the first round draft pick, and I mean I would say top 10.
36 receptions,
At least, dude.
about 550 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Maybe his only knock is that he's like a little small for a receiver at 5'11", but he's got good size at 190 for how tall he is, and then just like electric speed and
There's some teams that could throw him in the slot there.
plus he gives you you see what he can do as a returner too. So he's just got a lot of great traits there. A big thing in this game is 224 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. No Le'Veon Moss for A&M either.
Yep. Getting it done with Reuben Owens and pretty much Marcel Reed, who had 108 yards, but they got a pretty depthy backfield, kind of by committee. Because Reuben Owens had 8, Morrow at 3, Daniels at 4. Kind of mix it around when you're not just giving it to your quarterback.
Right. It was trying to do a real backfield by committee for the most part. Like a lot of different guys adding yards here and there, and then Reed doing the main chunk of rushing there. So looking more and more like an Alabama A&M championship potentially, but I don't want to write off Georgia. Let's see who A&M still got on the year. I think their biggest test they got Mizzou and Texas. They're on the road to play both of those teams. Those are 2 road games. Those
will be tough.
Yeah. SC and Samford are their other 2 matchups. Don't want to count Georgia out. And I mean, Vandy's still got an outside shot here too. If they can,
they're right in it too.
In fact, let's jump over to that Vanderbilt game here, and just talk about that. I want to see who the Commodores do have left.
Let's see.
I think they got Texas.
Oh man, at Texas,
Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. So the 2 T teams, man. That'll be
the gauntlet season for them, man.
They're gonna have to get past them if they want a shot at it. But ultimately, I think they're where they're in trouble is they need Bama to lose another one if they win out, because if Bama's got the head-to-head tiebreaker over them, and that's where it's tough for Georgia too. These teams both got a shot, but Bama's going to have to drop one, at least one more, and they're going to need to win out because Bama does have the benefit of a head-to-head against them, or maybe Texas A&M collapses. I mean, I won't.
You never know. They got 6 ranked teams on their schedule, so
Old Miss is still in it too. I don't want to forget about them.
Yeah, this top 5 of the SEC is pretty tough, and Texas has some games on their schedule that they can really sneak their way back in there after a rough start. That's kind of
you got a chance to knock some of your competition down.
Yeah. That last game of the year with A&M, had a chance to get a head-to-head matchup on them, playing Vandy.
All good opportunities here. But to that Vandy Mizzou game, it was a rainy day actually. So it was had some of the elements at play there. Just kind of a sloppy game of football, really, from both teams. Neither squad was very good on third down. Each team had 8 penalties. Each team with a turnover. And Vandy's their big problem was just that they just couldn't get the football because they only had it for 23 minutes this whole game. It was LSU that controlled it for a lot of this game. But they just couldn't, not LSU, Mizzou, but they just couldn't get points. And it's like, yeah, they held the ball for a while, but like yards weren't like a ton of big plays. It was like a few yards here, and there.
Ton of yards in between the 40s. Really inefficient red zone offense if they got there. And really, both teams are really bad on third down too. So a lot of punting and just
really the big difference in this one is of it not being a a 10-10 game going into overtime after Pavia gets out is that Vandy was able to hit the big play. Macklin Young had ripped off an 80-yard touchdown run earlier for in the third for Vandy to get the first touchdown of the game, and so that was really the big difference there, was that being able to hit that big play and get the touchdown that way. Because really, besides that, you had to just grind it out.
Yeah, there was a touchdown that Diego Pavia had. In the drive, they had to kick a field goal in the second, I think. That made an insane. It was like a Lamar Jackson level scramble. He was like rolls out of the pocket to the right, brings the entire play over, scrambles through an entire sea of offensive linemen, cutting in between like 3 or 4 of them, and then ends up in the opposite corner of the end zone scoring. But there was a hold, so I got called back, and they weren't able to finish the drive. Like just little mistakes and like the big opportunities for both teams. They couldn't get anything going.
He did all that just to not get the score. That's brutal. Yeah.
And both 80+ yards in penalties for both teams.
Like that was really the story, where it wasn't like exceptional defense, but just inefficient offense a little bit on from both sides.
Because Missouri was driving it. It really does look like penalties ended their drives, and this fumble from Jamal Roberts that they lost.
And even
we got like 400 total yards. There's no way you got 10 points.
It still doesn't feel real, right? Like 376 total yards. You had the ball for 36 minutes, and you only scored 10 points and lost by 7. Like you just still doesn't feel that real for Missouri.
No.
How did that happen? But
that would have been a huge win in enemy territory. That would have been a road victory. That would have shot them up in the rankings. Probably would have them maybe right where Vandy is.
Mm-hmm. Bo Pribla getting hurt, definitely.
That killed him.
Took some of the efficiency away from the offense for sure. But, I mean, it was Zollers that led that touchdown drive to take the lead, or the tie that rather. But then Vandy was able to give a march of their own and use Pavia's legs. So, look, I mean,
head over.
There's some crazy games like that where it's just a lot of chaos. It doesn't quite make sense, and you just got to find a way to come out and win it. And ultimately, that's what Vanderbilt did.
Let's head over to that Texas-Mississippi State game. That was one of the best ones of the season so far.
Definitely.
Texas getting 24 fourth-quarter points, 10 minutes of overtime.
All right, they were down, like I said, 38-21 with, I want to say, 10 minutes to go in the fourth. So there's a good chunk of time gone out of the fourth when you're down 17. Like not a spot you want to be in. And despite that, Arch, a lot of his best passes coming in the second half, threw for 346 and 3 touchdowns.
With no run game.
Yeah, run.
Really Arch Manning show.
Yeah. And, I mean, we got to give props, though, to Ryan Niblett, who had, for the second week in a row, a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown. And it was really, I mean, that punt return coming in the fourth to basically bring it within a one-score game, that was huge because, I mean, you got a stop and got points like immediately. That was instrumental in the comeback. Didn't even need the offense to come out on the field and waste any more time. He runs it back 79 yards. And I mean, like he tight roped it down the sideline, somehow came out of a crowd, like some poor coverage there by Mississippi State. He took full advantage of that for a house call. So the defense and the special teams of Texas, like they're so good, and like that's where Texas can be dangerous. Is if the offense has just been way too inconsistent this year, but if they get going, like with how well the defense and special teams plays, you got a shot.
They're really built in the trenches, and they get it done. Offensive line, defensive line, that defense got 7 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. But Mississippi State's defense, nothing to play around with either, because they got 5 sacks themselves and 12 tackles for loss. They're really able to stuff up the run game for Texas, make it really hard to come back, force them to pass the ball, make them beat you with Arch Manning's arm. And he did it this time. He got it done this week.
Right. And he didn't have like a ton of rushing yards, mostly because of the sack yardage that takes away from that. But some big scrambles by Arch to pick up first downs, like third down or when there was nothing there to avoid a sack and turn it into a positive and keep, a promising drive from derailing. So he had some big plays with his legs there as well, which the Longhorns needed.
On the other side, Devon Booth, Texas made it rough for him. 24 carries, 99 yards.
Real grinded out game.
Had to fight for it.
Yeah.
And Shapen with all the sacks. He's minus 39 yards, but he had a couple good scrambles in this one too.
Right. He played a really good game, man. He had 381 and 4 touchdowns. Like he was playing really well early, but Mississippi State they have not been able to close out against some of these SEC teams. I mean, you go back and take a look at some of their other losses here. Just the week before, I mean, they had a chance against
Tennessee.
Florida. Right. Well, I mean, they could, a penalty kind of cost them getting in the field goal range. They ended up losing by 2. Yeah, that in Tennessee, the Tennessee game, going back and forth with the Volunteers, but they just ended up making a costly mistake that
they had a schedule that they really could have thrown a wrench into the SEC, because they got that big win against Arizona, who was already ranked 12 to open the year, and then a couple easy wins against Alcorn State and Northern Illinois. But you win that game against Tennessee and Florida, and your only losses being A&M and Texas, you're right up in there in the conversation, ranked up with Tennessee, Missouri, and Oklahoma right now. But instead, you're the 3rd worst team in the conference. Just letting games slip.
It's really uncertain if you're even going to make a bowl game, and you like there, you at least would you have won the SEC? Probably not, but would you be already bowl eligible with a chance to put, the guys are probably playing with some more confidence, a chance to maybe play spoiler and get into a nice quality bowl game.
Because this game, they're screwed. At Arkansas, after a tough loss, they might get smacked. Right. 2 0-4 conference teams, though, and Arkansas they've looked like the more scrappier team. They
got the better quarterback. I like Taylon Green's just, he had he's just going to probably add more with his legs and his arm in total. That game's going to end up being just like a complete masterclass. Well, just you wait and see.
They really did have a chance because the rest of their schedule, home game against number 5 Georgia. You're able to play in your stadium. They got home field advantage. They can play you close when they're at home. They got blanked in A&M, but when they're playing you in Mississippi State, they got a better chance. At Missouri and then Ole Miss.
And what's crazy is that A&M game, they were kind of hanging around in that thing after the first half. I think they were only down I think it was 16-6, something like that at halftime. Like they weren't down by a huge amount at halftime. They just couldn't do anything.
They just couldn't score. It's the halftime score is 7-3 A&M, and then in the third quarter, A&M only had a touchdown, so 14-3, and then 6 points in the fourth for Mississippi State. So it's just a game where they can only kick field goals, and A&M got their 17 points in the fourth.
Right.
It's a two-possession game.
It's been Mississippi State's story all year. They just aren't able to finish in the second half. Right?
Could it be the end for Jeff Lebby over there? I'm not sure how long ago he was hired, but
potentially, yeah.
They kind of set up their schedule. Season, they wanted to make the playoffs this year.
It's hard not to look at this and be like, man, I mean, at the very least, we should be a win away from being bowl eligible, maybe bowl eligible right now. There are just so many number of games where you kind of gave it away.
Now they might only be a 5-win team because losing these close ones, it's going to make Georgia, Missouri, and Ole Miss that much harder. They might not even make the cut for a bowl game now. That's tough.
And that could be grounds for firing because, the team that should have been that could, people can see, you could have easily been a bowl team, and instead, here we are. Dude, I want to just bring it over to Georgia Tech one more time because Haynes King, man, what a performance!
All out, dude.
By this guy.
Top 10 Georgia Tech. Who would have saw that coming? Definitely not me.
Georgia Tech, 8-0. Because Chris front runner to win the ACC right now.
Yeah.
You saw what kind of happened to Miami when Carson Beck was uncomfortable the whole game and he was giving the ball away 4 times.
And they went on a bye too. So the top 2 teams in the ACC are Georgia Tech and Virginia right now. Right behind them is Pitt, Louisville, SMU, Duke, and then follows Miami. So it's really anyone's game in the ACC right now. Georgia Tech and Virginia as your top 2 teams, the only undefeated conference records. But some big wins.
My thing with Georgia Tech can't I wonder if a team's able to kind of take away the threat of King's legs and make him just a passer. Will he be as dangerous? Because that's where he I think he gets confidence as a passer as he runs the ball well. But in this game,
better than more carries.
Yeah, in this game he was just slinging it all over the field, and so maybe he won't. He did end up running the ball pretty well, as well. So maybe he won't. He won't need those carries going forward.
It's kind of a game where they controlled
that's a
point of attack.
Heisman moment, though, if I've seen it this season. That's
seriously
405 total yards.
Only 6 incompletions through the air.
That's unreal efficiency. And I don't know. They don't 93.2 QBR. They don't have it on here, but that would be on ESPN. I'm like, I would be curious to see like what his EPA was. Because I'd say it would have to be just something crazy.
Looking at the rest of their games, at NC State, at Boston College, versus Pitt, who's actually pretty good in the conference right now, 4-1. And then their last game against Georgia, obviously. Really going to be big test for them.
Yeah.
I think Pitt and Georgia are probably going to be a good test to see where they are in the trenches.
Right. Pitt's not bad. Like Pitt's pretty sneaky. They're in the ACC, so
it's a home game for Georgia Tech. I might give them the edge, but I want to see how they do against a better front.
Definitely. All right. Taking it on over to the Ole Miss Rebels. And, another good dual threat QB in Trinidad Chambliss. Had 53 rushing, 12 attempts, and 315 yards. Didn't go as crazy with the touchdowns. Only one passing touchdown. Nothing on the ground there. And
this was a pretty solid game from him. Man, he's still a freshman this year, right? Oh, he's a senior this year.
Yeah,
Go
he was
ahead and head over to the Saints, buddy.
Yeah, he was a transfer from, was it JUCO? No, D3. He was a D3, D2 player, transferred to Ole Miss, which I think the idea was maybe he was going to take on an extra year of eligibility and, fill in after sitting on the bench behind Austin Simmons. But then Simmons goes down and he comes in and just been, leading them to really impressive wins. This was a big win on the road against a good Oklahoma team. Good pass rush that I think this Ole Miss offensive line neutralized pretty well. And, Mateer, the hand was looking better. I don't think it was bothering him as much, but they were just keyed. They were really keyed in on him on the run game. And I just couldn't. They weren't able to really get anything going in the fourth quarter, or finish a drive. That was what.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good 16 points in the third quarter, make it a much closer game. Get unable to even get in field goal range in that fourth.
Like you go off for 16 in the thirds, you're up by one going in the fourth. You're like, all right, at home, we're getting some momentum, and kind of just a meltdown there in the fourth by OU as a team.
They were going crazy with Xavier Robinson.
Yeah, even with the play calling, I was like, just like, man, like what? Like you trying to lose this game? What's going on? And yeah, just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. And then I gotta give credit to Ole Miss. On the road, like you kind of blow a lead that you had. The other team scored a lot of points, but kept their cool and ended up going out and just playing really well in the fourth to get a win there. Like we were saying, they're right there in it with that SEC race as well.
We really got a chance to get this dude's draft stock going up. Keeps playing like this for the rest of the season. It's like 400 all-purpose yards a game. It's pretty insane with 2 touchdowns a game, like a passing touchdown. Insane dual threat ability.
I'm saying, man, he could be on the Saints, Chambliss.
I'm okay with it.
Like him would be good on there.
We got to have somebody else to lean on. That's not the skill positions. I completely agree with when you put that in the chat the other day, man, last night, because we need something. But we still got a few top 25 matchups to cover before we get to the NFL. and a few other guys who might be in the conversation for that pick or what teams need a quarterback. So, and our top 25 rankings, what teams are too high and too low.
Gotcha.
Let's
Well,
say we go over to the Big 12.
I was gonna say we got a couple of I think two big Big 12 matchups that we really gotta break down, and then that battle for first place in the American, I think, is where we'll end it off here. But we'll talk about the Cougars first of BYU, not of Houston, but yeah, two Cougars in the Big 12 really establishing themselves. Iowa State, it's going to be puzzling, just like what happened, the breakdown that they had. I mean, they such an impressive start to the season. Beck was playing really well, man. I mean, I thought, he was having a great season. I was like, I thought he was gonna be at least maybe. I didn't think he would win the Heisman, but the way he was playing, I was like, I thought he'd be maybe at least in the conversation. Certainly a finalist for a couple other quarterback awards. His draft stock was going to go up, and now he's just been a lot more careless with the football, and inaccurate, and like he's still putting up good yardage, but it's just the turnovers are killing them, and he's losing a lot of composure under pressure. BYU team that's very good at bringing that. They have, again, they're built up, another team built in the trenches because they just got like a monster offensive line. And they'll run it right up the middle on you.
And their quarterback, man, he's pretty much a tight end that lines up and takes a snap.
I've been dragging him all year, though, about his ability as a passer. In this game, though, I got to hand it to him. I mean,
it was a little better
because of his arm in this game. It was his ability late in this one, especially making a lot of big time throws. Parker Kingston, Chase Roberts making some huge catches, going to those guys. I mean, Iowa State, you knew pretty much where the ball was going, like 90% of the time when they dropped back to pass. They had two options, and they just had no answers for him. Some pure dominance there at the 1 and 2 spot for their wide receivers.
They're able to get it done, man. This could be a team, might be on fraud watch if you play a team with a stronger front, but I don't know, man.
Well, like that was the thing. Iowa State does have a
they're pretty solid.
Play. And I mean, BYU wants to run the football, and Iowa State took that away from them. But they really showed in this one. Also on the road, I mean, that's always
a big time
college football, and hostile environment. Your quarterback, you were able to fall back on him and his arm, and he delivered. So, making me feel even more like a lot more confident about BYU. They're right now looking like, even if they don't win the Big 12, I mean, it's still going to be chaos, and I could see them going down in a thriller to another team. I think regardless of whether they win it or not, though, they've really proven to be a playoff team, as long as they don't have some sort of horrendous collapse here late in the season.
Yeah, this is definitely a big-time game. It's a pretty top team in your conference. So kind of solidifying where they are in the Big 12. I didn't think they were going to be in the conversation.
Yeah, it'll be tough for them to go undefeated because you got to go on the road to Texas Tech next week. You've got to go, not next week, but 2 weeks from now. They're on bye next week. Then you're on the road 2 weeks from then playing Cincinnati. So who are about like two other like really top end schools in your conference. But you split that 1-1. They can beat TCU at home. They can beat UCF at home. And I mean, then bam, one loss. The committee just can't not put BYU in there.
I know.
I think there's a good chance. I think BYU could be undefeated in there. I mean, they've got their identity on offense is one that is great.
Just on the ground.
Ground and pound, ball control, just run you into submission. I mean, that's a good philosophy to take on the road. And they play great defense, dude. I mean, they can. I mean, they don't let you get ahead of the sticks, and meanwhile, they're always operating on the second and third and short with how they run this ball. So, yeah,
they're looking tough.
I think they could easily be undefeated. I do think they go 1-1 in those. I really like Texas Tech and Cincinnati. Those are too tough. It's just tough to have them in such a short span of time, I think they'll more likely lose to Cincinnati because you're going to get the bye and get to play Texas Tech with a little bit of rest. Then I think you're going to have, TCU is a team that can definitely put some strain on you. So it'll just be a tough 3-game stretch, and then you got to go on the road to Cincinnati where that you could drop one there.
Yeah, that bye week is definitely a killer, especially if your team is red hot. You're going to end all your momentum, and you go right into a trap game. Get smacked in the mouth. It's not what you want.
No.
What was that other game you wanted to cover? Was the Houston, Arizona
the other two
State?
games. Yeah, I've been telling you,
they're Houston in the top 25 now.
Good team. Yeah, they're in there, and yeah, Connor Wayman's he's a good quarterback. Great dual threat there. I mean, he had himself a really great game. 312 scrimmage yards, 3 total touchdowns. He had 111 on the ground, 201 through the air. Houston, another team that just not. I like their own line. It's not as dominant as some of the other ones, but they're still a really good offensive line. I do like the defensive front a little bit more, but I think they've got more playmakers in the secondary there. That were giving the State some problems here. They just can't they took that run away from Arizona and got after Levitt. I mean, Levitt played pretty well.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game.
He got banged up, did have to end up leaving. He got hit a lot. 4 sacks, took a number of QB hits as well. Put up the yards, but it was on, he was getting the big plays when he got some time. He just didn't have a lot of time. And like I said, despite some of the playmakers that Houston's got in their secondary, no Jordan Tyson, and they were still able to gash him for around 270, which isn't terrible. A lot of that going to Malik McLean stepping up in Tyson's absence.
Yeah, 10 pass deflections, but they were still able to get something going in the passing game. Malik McLean going crazy, 7 catches for 160 yards.
And to be fair, in Houston's defense, a lot of that came when they were, up 24-0 in the fourth quarter, and they were playing pretty soft. A lot of that yardage did come when
it was late in crunch time.
They were giving them a lot of stuff underneath, and so there was a lot of dinking and dunking down the field, and Arizona State got some stops, made a ball game out of it, but ultimately Houston was lock back in. We haven't quite won this thing yet. Got a good stop there late and put this thing away.
Their O-line's really solid. If you've ever seen them play, that game they had against CU was literally just QB draw. Their gap integrity up the middle is insane. their center is pretty much a lead blocker on those plays because there's just no contested guards split. They make a hole, so he doesn't even have any problem running up the middle. It's just QB draw for him on most run plays. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So one team I think deserves to be in the top 25. They definitely did after this win, right? Yep, 22.
Yeah. No, they're up there.
The rest of their schedule: West Virginia, at UCF, TCU, and Baylor to end it. Pretty two tougher games with TCU and Baylor towards the end of the season, but gotta have got some momentum building games against Central Florida and West Virginia. Build up.
It's a bit more favorable of a schedule compared to like BYU, Texas Tech, or the Cincinnati. Like those schools are going to have some steeper competition, to deal with down the stretch. Whereas
they're in the
theirs
top
is a bit
four
more
now.
favorable. Where like that does kind of open the door for them there.
This would be an unranked team that like maybe sneaks in to the playoff with some wins, maybe. But they kind of need BYU to drop.
They were they weren't really like that much of a in the conversation of the Big 12 championship, even though there were like six teams that everyone thought it could be. But now, they just, if they can just take care of business, it's just like their other opponents have, some tough games that they could drop, where it gives them a chance to just sneak in there.
Cincinnati's still got to play BYU and Utah.
They got to go to Utah, which could be, it's kind of weird going to Ohio down to Arizona. It's a bit, not quite, cross country, but it's still. Oh, dogs protecting the house. It's a weird travel distance where you can makes it a bit more susceptible to an upset.
Texas Tech also has BYU upcoming on their schedule.
Right, like it's just those three teams kind of ahead of Houston all play each other, and it's like how it's pretty likely that it kind of comes out. They all come out of there with one extra loss from all those matchups. So
we really could see a BY or a Texas Tech Houston Big 12 championship out of nowhere, because Houston did lose to Texas Tech earlier in the year, 35-11. So they can't pass Texas Tech, but they still have a chance to get by Cincinnati and BYU and just kind of sneak into the Big 12 championship. They've already got some pretty big wins this year. That Colorado one was dominant. When they're able to run the ball against you, man, and get Weigman going up the middle, they're a solid team.
Yeah. All right. The final matchup we want to get here. Battle for the American. Your two front runners for a group of 5 school to make the playoff here. South Florida, Memphis. This is a great game. Byron Brown did have the one interception, but besides that, was pretty much perfect on this game. He had 121 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, 269 through the air, and another touchdown. There's Brendan Lewis leading a late rally, going into the fourth quarter, and you're down 31-17, score 17 unanswered there in the fourth. Come back all the way and win it.
Don't let Memphis go on a run now. Mess around and win this conference, because the 2 teams ahead of them in the American are also upcoming games on Memphis' schedule. They got at Rice on Halloween night. Then you got home game against Tulane, which favorable game there. You could give them their first conference loss.
Mm-hmm.
And then your final game of the season is against undefeated Navy after you play East Carolina. So, got a chance to win this conference.
Memphis is more dangerous now after they lost to UAB. I think that was a wake-up call to them. I think they went into that game, just expecting to win it, and they saw some of their weaknesses get exposed, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. And sometimes, it's a loss you hate to have, but that can be, if it's your only loss, if you can finish this year strong, which I think they will, it's a good thing, a good loss to have, because it really just sort of snapped you out of it. And you're like, hey guys, what are we doing? We were 24-point favorites and we lost this game after they just fired their head coach. We're not invincible, and it really has this team playing some inspiring football. It's kind of like how on Ohio State last year, yeah, they lost to Michigan, but it was the best thing for them going into the playoff.
Yeah, they needed it.
They just dominated everybody pretty much straight through to the championship. I don't think they had a single they didn't have a single game on their way to the national championship that was one score. They won it by two scores or more every single one of those games. So
this is really one.
Could be something like that for Memphis, which is what it looked like. It took a little bit longer for that to kick in. It was we got upset by UAB. Hey, now we're losing, by double digits at home to South Florida. Let's go, guys. And they kicked it in the high gear.
No, that's what I was going to say, because South Florida outgained them in this one, more efficient on third down by a mile, and doesn't get the win in this game. More rushing yards, more passing yards. Well, not more passing yards, because they had the lead. More rushing yards, 270 passing yards, and just let this one slip.
Mm-hmm.
Allowed a comeback, 17 unanswered in the fourth.
It's South Florida. I mean, maybe they can make the case they've got the resume to still be in the playoff. It's tough though, because you're at this point. I mean, you lost. The bad loss to Miami. You did beat Boise and Florida, but those aren't looking like the most impressive victories here. So that was killer. That might have really, which sucked, because I would have loved to see this team in the college football playoff. They look a lot different than a lot of the other Group of 5 teams. I mean, they're a lot bigger, and they just got an extra element of speed. But Memphis kind of showed that exact same thing, and Memphis just has a much better path to it.
Yeah, because Memphis got the chance to knock off Tulane and Navy. South Florida can bounce back by the win on Navy. They could give Navy their first conference loss before Memphis. But that tiebreaker, you still already dropped one.
Now you're stuck. You're wait. You can help yourself out a bit by beating Navy.
But you're battling for second place.
You're counting on Tulane and Memphis each to drop another one, and to drop 2 more, really. I mean,
yeah,
Memphis is going to have to drop 2. I think they can, just by virtue of head-to-head opponents and
having those in-state rivalries. Playing Miami kind of screws them.
Yeah,
that kind of felt like an automatic loss going into the week. That's losing this one. Now you kind of put yourself in a handicap, because that one extra loss just going to hang there for the rest of the season. And you still got an undefeated team in your conference to come back from. It's a lot to come back from.
It is. All right, well, Caveman, It's time to take a look at the top 25 and
Let's
play
do
our
it.
favorite game, higher or lower. And you know what? Let's mix it up. Let's actually start from the 25 today. How about
Start
that?
from the bottom. All right, I like it. I like it.
All right, so we're going to get to Memphis at
Memphis.
25. I kind of like that.
I like
The
that. First time getting in this year.
Well, they're back.
Oh yeah, they were in.
They were in there for a little bit. And I mean, it was a bad loss to UAB. I mean, so, but then you followed it up with a good win against a ranked conference opponent. So good bounce back, but not. We'll put you back in at 25, but not any higher. Got Utah there 24.
I don't really mind that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
The Houston got in. If Houston wasn't in and Utah was, maybe I'd make a case. But they aren't too bad this year. I think we could put them. I think 24 is just right there for them.
I mean, you maybe could say like, why isn't Navy ranked? But they haven't really played anybody. Just seeing, I think there's like Utah, just by the virtue of having difficult schedule, Arizona State's going out. Like, kind of makes sense to have them in there. Who's Iowa play? I mean, you can maybe make a case for Iowa, but
That's true. That's true.
I do think Utah's probably just got the little bit slightly better resume there.
Yeah, it looks like Navy had the most votes at 86. Got some votes in there for James Madison to be in the top 25. I like that.
Shout out. No, San Diego State should be in the top 25. Bro.
That's definitely true. They got some voting.
They have the second best defense in the country. They're only giving up 10.4 points per game.
That's solid. All right.
The only team better than them is like Ohio State, and theirs is something stupid like 5 points per game because they've shut teams out.
They just shut everyone out.
Yeah, let me get this. So, I would give it. Yeah, I mean Utah's definitely played a little bit tougher schedule than San Diego State, but I'd like the Aztecs to get some love, man. I like San Diego State. They're my pick to win the Mountain West. That team's got a sick defense. Yeah, so the Buckeyes are giving up 5.9, so call it 6 points per game. Nothing crazy.
How are we feeling about USC at 23rd?
I like it. I mean, I think this
not bad.
They were on a bye, so just leave them where they, or I guess put them in because
they were not ranked last week, and then
you got to take some teams out. But they got that win over Michigan before they went on the bye, and you've seen the defense for that team's getting better, and the offense is already pretty dynamic. It's the top offense in the country. They're averaging 530 yards per game and scoring just an insane amount of points. They're averaging like 42 points per game. So I'm okay with that. I'm good with.
I think I like that there.
Yeah, I'm good with these three where they're at.
Pretty much replaced Illinois.
Yeah. Houston at 22. I'm glad they're ranked. Put them above Michigan though.
Yeah, they're 7-1. Get them one rank up higher.
True. And you know what? I mean,
maybe even above Texas.
I know it wasn't a great loss, but it was against a really good Texas Tech team. I mean, besides that, they've been pretty dominant over everyone they've played. Got a big road win against a ranked team. I think, they should be put them above Texas. So I think they should be there
20.
at 20. You've got Texas at 21, Michigan at 22.
I like that.
Mizzou at 19. Yeah, I'm fine leaving them there.
That's okay.
Same with Oklahoma at
They've
18.
had some tough schedules.
Like both of those teams, like their losses against other top schools, and it wasn't like they were blown out in either of those. I mean, they hung in. Well, yeah, they kind of got blown out against Texas, but Oklahoma did. But they hung in around Ole Miss, and Mizzou was in that. Despite their QB getting hurt in that Vanderbilt game, they hung around in that, and then their other loss was close. Was a semi-close matchup to Bama. So, who's an elite top 4 school right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough loss only because that's such a good team.
Cincinnati at 17, Louisville 16, Virginia at 15.
I think those are fair. You could argue that they could be above Tennessee.
Right? Just because of the one last loss. Tennessee did lose to Bama and Georgia, the top 5 schools in the country. So I think it's fair to let Tennessee stay ahead of those guys because
they got a win last week too, so they jumped up 3 spots.
Virginia did. I would maybe just because Virginia struggled, put them at 17, just because Louisville and Cincy looked a little bit more convincing.
Got some big views.
Yeah, put them at put Cincy at 16 and Louisville at 15. I'm cool keeping Tennessee there at 14. Texas Tech, have them jump up to 13. Like the Irish, but I would move the Irish back to 13. I know punish them.
They had a bye week.
Yeah,
They didn't really move.
I'd put Texas Tech back up at 12.
Crazy.
You know what? I would put Texas Tech at 10. I'd have Miami.
At 11?
No, Miami is at 11. Okay, my ESPN's just bugging. It's got Miami.
Yeah, it shows BYU and Miami are both the 10 seed.
All right, so Miami's 11. I would put Tech at 11. Miami at 12 and Notre Dame at 13.
That's
Miami did beat Notre Dame, so they should be ahead of them.
They should.
BYU at 10. Only one spot. Look, man, love Vandy, but I think BYU should be ahead of them.
They should at least be 9.
Yeah.
BYU should at least be 9 right now.
I'm almost tempted to say that maybe they should be Georgia Tech and BYU should be ahead of Ole Miss. But I'm going to hold off on that sentiment because Ole Miss, I do think, has had the bit tougher of a schedule. Their only loss against Georgia.
Yeah.
So Vandy's at 10, BYU. I think BYU.
Those are the 2 teams that should be at 10 and 10. It shouldn't be Miami and BYU that are both ranked 10 right now. I don't know what I think it's a glitch, but
yeah,
you got teams tied for 10th in the country.
I would put BYU at 8. I put them above Georgia Tech just because BYU I think's got the better resume. Which I mean they moved Georgia Tech down from where they were last week, which is kind of
they were ranked 7.
Yeah, because they're kind of crazy, but I mean, I guess I understand it just based on their best win this season was Clemson.
Yeah,
that's not looking all too impressive. Then you got Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss should be at 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oregon at 7. Only because
Oregon kind of struggled.
They had a rough game.
It was more got banged up, and it was a monsoon. So I mean, I get why the offense wasn't clicking, but Old Miss is just fresh off of beating a top 25 school on the road. I think that warrants
That
getting
warrants
top
it.
6.
Easily.
Then Georgia at 5. Yeah, I mean, Georgia's still top 5 team in the country. Bama at 4, like that because, of where they're at. Indiana and A&M, I mean, those two are basically interchangeable. If 2 or 3, they both either or would really work. And then Ohio State, at number 1.
I like them at 1 only because they've really just been dominating teams. When you're saying their points per game allowed by their defense, man, they're tough.
Yeah, bro. Let's just look at what they've done this season. 14-7 against Texas, 70-0 against Grambling, 37-9 against Ohio, 24-6 against Washington, 42-3 against Minnesota. The only time they've given up double-digit points this season was on the road at Illinois.
16 points.
Yeah, they went 34-16, and then 34-0 after that. Well, now they got James Franklin's old team coming down.
Ghost of James Franklin come to haunt Ohio State.
Will he haunt Ohio State? He'd more likely just haunt Penn State. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they got a few other things haunting them too, man.
James Franklin to LSU? Potentially?
Maybe. I mean, you saw.
I mean, man, if he doesn't win a big game at Penn State, he's gonna have even more problems winning big games at LSU if he doesn't get that fixed, though.
They broke the news on NFL Network, and man, it seemed like Rex Ryan was really intrigued about this job. He had a great point that Brian Kelly just really didn't fit that school really at all. I mean, talk about a bad hire.
Yeah.
Somebody that wasn't really too into the whole.
I can't believe they moved on from Coach Ed so fast, man.
Well, didn't he retire?
No, they fired him.
Man, at this point, bring him back.
It was like 2 or 3 years after Burrow's national championship team, man. Like they weren't undefeated and beating every team by 20 points, and they're like, all right, you gotta go.
You're gone.
Like, all right, like sorry bro couldn't assemble the greatest college football team ever seen year after year.
He's sorry you couldn't do the impossible.
He had a down year recruiting.
They got shown that even with a good year of recruiting, the LSU roster is like $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a year of good recruiting, Brian Kelly showed that he's not that great of a coach.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, those were we put our rankings. So not a ton of movement from us, just a couple of maybe some shuffling around, but they're not horrible these past few weeks with the top 25 rankings. Not some shocking
breaking news
developments.
17 minutes ago, EA Sports and the NFL are continuing to partner for Madden in the near future. So just wait till that contract ends, everybody, to buy the next Madden game, because boy, oh boy, EA and Madden is like.
So are they renewing the contract? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. So it'll be EA Sports is going to continue to be the partner and major company for the NFL and college football now. Again.
Yeah. Man. It sucks because like that contract is like they're the only team that's allowed to make a football game.
Yeah, they're the only company that's allowed.
Likeness and copyrights and trademarks and everything like that.
Yeah, like no other company besides EA Sports can use name, image, and likeness of anything in the NFL in a video game. So if you make a video game that's football, it has to be like a random universe with a bunch of random teams and random people.
Yeah, ridiculous, man. All right, well, we got to get going to our first break here soon. So let's just run through our what's going on in the top 25 next week. Friday night, Memphis will be taking on Rice. On the road, could be a tough game for them, but expect the Tigers to come out of that one. Penn State going on the road to play Ohio State should be a massacre. Vanderbilt, Texas, one of our early morning SEC matchups. That's going to be a really good matchup.
Texas favored by 1.5, man. Maybe go Vandy to cover the spread.
That one's in Austin, so home field advantage for the Longhorns. We'll see who comes out on that one. Miami going on the road play SMU, who were looking like they could be a sneaky good team, but they're kind of falling apart a little bit here. Still 3-1 in the ACC, so they could be a challenge for the Canes. Houston's hosting a pretty bad West Virginia team. Should be a comfortable win for the Bearcats. They're 13.5-point favorites. Louisville does got to go on the road, but they're playing a lackluster Virginia Tech team. 10.5-point favorites there. I like Louisville.
The CW network is crazy.
Yeah. Maybe CW be putting games on, man. They get some good ones. CBS is going to have Indiana taking on Maryland in Maryland.
Yeah.
Despite that, the Hoosiers are still 21.5-point favorites. I suspect they will win that game big too. We got the world's largest cocktail party, Georgia
Here we go.
and Jacksonville. Always a fun time when these teams get together. One of the best rivalries in all of college sports. Even if, no matter how bad Florida is, they usually make this one a ball game. Notre Dame on the road taking on a 1-7 Boston College team. Expect a 28.5-point favorite. Irish to clean up there. Texas Tech on the road against Kansas State would be, it's always a tough place to go in the Manhattan, Kansas. Play there. Tech only a 7.5-point favorite, so look for them to potentially get into a dogfight. Avery Johnson still playing very well this way. This team
Still having a good year.
This way, his team not having a ton of success. Virginia got a surprisingly good Cal team, and this game's in Cal. So, what upset alert here? Just like, you got to go across the country. It's just a weird, does weird things to your internal clock. So, some jet lag, some sluggishness could have Virginia on upset alert here. Old Miss hosting the Gamecocks. Old Miss should take care of business there in Oxford.
Yeah, it could be a trap game, but they got home field in this one. So
Michigan hosting Purdue Michigan should take care of business there. They're 20.5-point favorites. Georgia Tech going on the road against a scrappy NC State team. They certainly got the ability to put up some points, so we'll see. If they give Georgia Tech any problems there. I still see the Yellow Jackets probably coming out on that one by 13, 14 points. Oklahoma and Tennessee is going to be one of our nightcaps here on ABC. The Volunteers in the Sooners. Oklahoma looking to not drop 3 straight. So huge game there. Probably
you don't want to lose this one.
Yeah, one of our game of the week candidates for sure. On NBC and Peacock, you're going to have Nebraska hosting the number 23 ranked Trojans.
They got another chance to beat a top 25 school. Can Matt Rule and Nebraska get it done? Probably not.
We will see. After they got slapped around by Minnesota, I'm not feeling too confident about that. And then our actual nightcap to end the night on ESPN. This is a doozy. Cincinnati going to Utah to play.
This one should be a banger.
Tons of huge Big 12 championship race implications in that one. So definitely keep your eye on that one. What matchups are you looking forward to next week? Let us know. Drop them down there in the comments. We're going to go ahead and hit our first music break. And when we come back, had I don't know how to put this bluntly or how to put this nicely, rather. Kind of a down week in the NFL. It's been a very exciting year, but only one possession game last week or this week in the NFL. So we're going to break it down and kind of go over why there were so many blowouts. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Total Final Whistle Football Frenzy here on Military Broadcast Radio.
You've got leaving in your eyes as you walk me to the door. Miles between us now and who we were before. I've seen how frail love can be. I know it hurts when it ends suddenly. I hope you never feel that pain, choosing to go when you could have stayed. If there's a choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. If you're lost, thinking about how we take that break, and it feels wrong sleeping alone. Sometimes it is harder giving up than giving another try. Maybe it ain't time to say goodbye. You're getting older, losing those rose-colored glasses, but it's not over. Luster fades as time passes. I've seen how frail we can be. Broken hearts don't just heal suddenly. Some pain never goes away, like choosing to go when you could have stayed. If there's a choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. If you're lost, thinking about how we take that break, and it feels wrong sleeping alone. Sometimes it is harder giving up than giving another try. Maybe it ain't time to say goodbye. If there's a choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. If you're lost, think about how we take that break, and it feels wrong sleeping alone. Sometimes it is harder giving up than giving another try. Maybe it ain't time. If there's a choke in your throat when you say my name, finding reasons to blow up my phone. If you're lost, think about how we take that break, and it feels wrong sleeping alone.
the station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at nbradio.us.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle. We're back one last time, and we got the NFL. Week 8 just passed. We're looking at a race for HG, looking at his team making the playoffs, and my team is in a race for the number 1 overall pick. We're on opposite sides of the spectrum this week, but there was a lot of other blowouts, man.
Yeah.
Let's cover the slate. What do
Right.
we have?
So it was like I said, a week of blowouts and also a week of inter-conference domination by the AFC. And all AFC versus NFC matchups, AFC was 8-1 in their 9 possible matchups. Only the Packers got a victory over an AFC foe this week. That started on Thursday night when the Chargers hosted the Vikings and just blasted them on national television, 37-10. Herbert, Vidal, McConkey, Keenan Allen, Oronde Gadsden, or Gardens, however you say his name. Impressive rookie out of Syracuse. Been just doing whatever they want. And
Who
then
the heck is that guy, bro? What?
Rookie out of
Herbert
Syracuse.
needs some more respect, man.
Yeah.
He's throwing it. He's been throwing it to nobodies, man, forever. No disrespect. It's just we've never heard of these guys before, and they get their career started. They get a career boost from their boy Justin Herbert, slinging it
from Jay Herbo.
He
was at the World Series game last night too. He was spotted there. Him and Matthew Stafford says drawing in both LA quarterbacks. But the NFC or the AFC domination over the NFC continued early Sunday morning on a very surprising game. The Dolphins
didn't expect it.
Smacked the Falcons, one of the most frustrating teams in the NFL, because you're like, what is going on with you guys? Cost me, did a rebuy survivor pool and took the Falcons, and I'm out again.
There was no Michael Penix.
Tua had one eye in this game and somehow was 1,000% better quarterback. He didn't turn the ball over once and threw for 4 touchdowns. So, bizarre world. 34-10 victory for the Dolphins. Like I said, we had one possession game this week, and it came courtesy of, drum roll please, the New York Jets
and the Bengals.
Bengals, just like we all expected, right, guys? The Jets get their first win on the season. Breece Hall goes nuclear, 39-38 in this one. Jets are winless no more. So the 08 Lions and the 2016 Browns can pop the champagne. Their winless seasons are intact.
They take the cake.
Yeah. Speaking of the Browns, Myles Garrett, 5-sack masterclass performance, and it'll be forgotten with the sands of time as it came in a blowout 32-13 loss. Patriots 6-2, sitting atop the AFC East. Philadelphia Eagles get back on track and get back at the New York Giants. Heartbreaking injury with Cam Scatterboo. Likely
that was so
in there.
Man.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley does get back on track in this one, 150 yards and a touchdown. 38-20 victory for the Eagles. Buffalo Bills, fresh off the bye, going into Charlotte to play the Panthers, team that was undefeated at home previously, but not anymore. The AFC moves to 3-0 against the NFC on a 40-9 victory. 216 on the ground for James
Cook. Nuclear.
And the Bills just abusing Andy Dalton. There's not any way to treat the quarterback that helped end your playoff drought streak. Come on, Buffalo. So classless.
I don't know what he was doing. Man.
Proving
He did
that
not
it's
look
time to hang him up.
He didn't look prepared.
I don't think Andy Dalton wanted to play football this year. I think he just wanted to get free. He just wanted to be able to go to games and be on the sidelines.
This is his farewell tour, he thought, but no.
Crap. I actually got to go in there. Jesus. The Ravens, desperate to not fall to 1-6, make the quarterback change with no Lamar still, go to Snoop Huntley, and their defense actually finally shows up in a big way in this one, forcing a couple of takeaways.
Classic Bears.
2 touchdowns on the ground, and Chicago. Way to choke away what should have been your 5th straight win. 30-16, the Ravens get the victory. The Texans,
had a solid day from Stroud. He was insanely accurate.
One of his first 300-yard passing performances in a while. This banged up Niners defense, rather, starting to show this week, though. Now, we weren't able to really get any pressure on CJ as he picked them apart. 26-15, the final there. I would bring up the AFC is 5-0 now against the NFC.
Killing us. They killed us.
Bucks travel into New Orleans, play the Saints. And we were talking about this a little bit before the show. I mean, the Saints defense really put up a pretty good performance. Tampa didn't get a whole lot going, had to rely on the defensive touchdown. The offense, though, just gave up. They quit. They had no fight in them at all.
Nothing.
Just they gave the ball away a lot. It was
nothing. It was off. It was terrible. Just wait. Just wait until I talk about that game.
Caveman's got a lot to say about that. Bad performance by the offense. 23-3 victory for the Buccaneers. Dallas Cowboys come into Denver looking to do something that they haven't done in 30 years. They're going to have to keep waiting because the Broncos just shredded that terrible defense. Bo Nix did essentially whatever he wanted. He had like an average time to pass of 4 seconds in this game. It was pretty insane. And really limited, shut down CD and George Pickens for the most part, with Patrick Surtain hurt for a good chunk of this game. 44-24. Broncos get the victory. 6-0 now against the NFC. And then you have the Titans going into Indy to play the Colts. Colts might be going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. They haven't played like a ton of the tough, like really crazy tough opponents, but this offense is hyper efficient, man. It's just insane. Jonathan Taylor running behind this offensive line is legitimately having an MVP season. He'll probably get robbed of it if he keeps up at the pace he's at and they don't give it to him, which, this was his 4th game, I think, with 3 or more touchdowns. And he just the rushing, the receiving yards. Daniel Jones, 29, 272, 3 TDs as well. Colts roll 38-14 in this one. Then we get the Sunday Night Football. The Packers taking on the Steelers. Highest paid defense in the NFL.
Steelers?
That's the Steelers. Just got carved up. The highest paid, their most expensive defense in the NFL.
I forgot because they got Darius Slay. They got freaking Jalen Ramsey.
TJ Watt's got like one of the largest non-QB contracts. And they've given up 32, 31, 33, and 35 now this year. And some pretty big spots. Jordan Love might have had the best game of his career. Same with Tucker Kraft. Domination by the Packers, really. Steelers offense was fine in this one, but 35-25. Packers get the victory. And then a Commanders team that got Terry McLaurin back, but without Jaden McDaniels against a good Kansas City team that's really getting their momentum. Kansas City's offense started really sluggish in this one. They had a couple of like uncharacteristically like bad turnovers where usually like the Chiefs, you kind of have to take the ball away and they're not just going to give it away most of the time. But these were like 2 giveaways. I mean, hitting people in the hands and going right to defenders. So they let the Commanders hang around. It was 7-7 at halftime. Then KC found their stride offensively, and it was all
Yeah,
Chiefs
they got it done
in the second half, 28-7. Interesting enough, no field goals in this game. Kind of crazy. 28-7. Chiefs get the victory.
All right.
You want to just rip the Band-Aid off? And
yeah, we got to go to it real quick, man, because this game's terrible. Literally, there's so many drives, dude. You watch the Saints, and it just looks like they wanted to punt. We had gotten the ball back late in the second quarter, going into halftime when it was 7-3, 7-3 in the second quarter. Baker fumbles off the strip sack from Chase Young, and we get the ball at like midfield. We're in great position. Late game drive, we get a sack, and then there's an illegal formation on the very next play. So we're already backed up. We get some back. Now it's 3rd and 8. And the great play calling of Kellen Moore decides, hey, let's just throw a 4-yard out route to Juwan Johnson in a passing play where no other receiver goes to the first down marker. So it's just like we want to give the ball back to him. We didn't even want to score right there and try to take the lead. We're making a 1-point game going into halftime, get some momentum. No. Our first drive literally ends in a fumble after we already got into field goal range. So we're cooking down the field, turn the ball over. Coming down the next drive, I got a punt. It's terrible. The offense had no fight. We had a goal line stand in the first quarter, and we ended up punt. That's when they got the pick 6. We gained a couple yards, got our backs out of the end zone, and for some odd reason, we're calling a designed rollout when the Buccaneers have an outside linebacker, edge rusher that could beat Spencer Rattler to the spot and contest the throw and block that pass and get the pick 6.
Wow, like I don't care who you got out there. Like a naked boot in your own end zone
that's ugly.
Really risky.
That's ugly.
That's asking for trouble, man.
That's just dumb. And here's another funny thing, right? So Kamara can hardly rush for 50 yards a game now, right? He doesn't want to get traded. He can't run for more than 50 yards a game, man. You have no value at this point. We had Devin Neal out there for 46% of our snaps, and he got 0 carries. He was on the field 46% of the snaps on Sunday, and he didn't get the ball once in the run game.
That's just like I don't get. Like they give Kamara the ball 6 times, and it's just like you got these 2 rookies that are really struggling. Well, Rattler's not the rookie, but 2 young quarterbacks that were really struggling against Todd Bowles' defense. I mean,
and we're not even trying to run the ball.
Right. I mean, like you're just having those guys drop back and throw it 51 times. Like what?
Yeah. And it sucks. It sucks that Kendre Miller went down with the ACL. He's done for the year. He literally had 1 carry against the Bears and tore his ACL. He's done for the year. It sucks that we lost him because he was actually our best back. But when we have Devin Neal on the field for 46% of the snaps, and he gets 3 catches in the receiving game, it's just like a waste. We're just wasting the guy for that entire game. Kellen Moore kept calling it like before we reach the red zone, this weird area like in between the 40 and the 25-yard line. That's not a weird area. If once you get into that area, for most other teams, that's field goal range. If you're the New Orleans Saints with your starting kicker as Blake Groupie, you have to punt right in that area because he can't make a 50+ yard field goal. We play inside HG. We play in a dome, right?
Yeah.
He's the least accurate kicker in the NFL. We've played 5 of our 8 games at home, over 50% of them at home. And this guy's the worst kicker in the NFL. And he's played over 50% of his games inside. He's terrible. What are we even doing with him on the team? That's one guy that should be cut at the middle of the season. That's somebody that's got to be deactivated from the roster.
So, you know who's out there is Rodrigo Blankenship. He was Colts kicker for a while. Got cut because he had like a little bit of a cold stretch there. He was out of the league, but he was kicking in the UFL last year. Was the most accurate kicker.
Yep.
In the whole UFL. I think he only missed like one time the whole year, and that was like a 58-yarder. He just pushed it slightly. And he's been like, he practices every week, man. He goes out. I see his videos. He posts the like he's kicking. He'll kick the 3 longest field goals from the NFL each week,
and he's more accurate than Groupie.
I mean, he's drilling them. He's kicking them from like the same hash and everything. He even kind of simulated the Evan McPherson 67-yarder that he made that got called back because of a timeout. And he made that one, kicked it again after the timeout to try to simulate that and made it. So I'm like, I mean, at this point, like the guy has shown you on one field that he was incredibly accurate, and he's almost weekly like putting out tape of him hitting the same like big kicks from the NFL. I'm just like, it's kind of blowing my mind that he's not getting another chance.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense.
I'm like
it's wide open.
This dude must have like, what did he do to like piss off the like league execs or something like that? That's the other thing, because it's like, I'm like, how do your scouting departments not know about this guy? I mean, he was an NFL kicker for a while, and like he must have gotten like blacklisted or something. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, but back to our offense being so crappy. Our skill position guys seriously got to look themselves in the mirror, because when they're screwing up and they're not playing consistently, or they're not playing as a high contract player or like the first round draft pick that they may be, you're just putting all the blame onto these young quarterbacks. Everybody wants to talk about people not having any room to develop in the league anymore. And it's because it feels like halfway through the season, your own teammates have written you off. And they're like, man, maybe I'll just put no effort into the rest of this game. And every time I fumble, the camera's going to cut to Spencer Rattler and not me, and zoom in on Spencer Rattler with his head down because the offense he's leading just turned the ball over again for like the 6th time in 2 weeks, 6th or 7th time in 2 weeks. That's every time we turn the ball over, camera on Rattler until he was on the sideline with his helmet off. And the Fox announcers, I swear, it's like they just wanted to crap on the guy for the entire game. They're like,
this team's doing him absolutely no favors, man.
No. Same with Shuck. If our offense needs to be so simple that it doesn't even matter who starts, because it's these two guys are our quarterbacks, we should be in our skill positions. Ain't that bad on paper. These are good name players. Shaheed, insanely fast. We got one of the fastest receivers in the league. We got a 1st-round pick receiver. Juwan Johnson got a big contract for a tight end. Got Alvin Kamara. Like, we should honestly have a pretty easy offense for these guys to be successful in. But it's us getting pounded by the blitz and guys having horrible effort, holding the ball like a loaf of bread and getting it punched out. Like, oh my gosh. It's like guys aren't even trying to punch the ball out. They just happen to hit the ball while they're trying to wrap up and they fumble.
Want to make the tackle and
Yeah.
absolutely no ball security.
No.
I mean,
It's like at that point, just slide. Why are you even trying to fight for more yards if you can't hold on to the ball?
credit to the defense and Brandon Staley's defense. I think they've been pretty good.
They've been kind of hit or miss against the run, but when we do have successful games stopping the run, our back end has a much easier time. Like Kool-Aid was on Emeka Egbuka one-on-one in a lot of their red zone trips and shut down in that one-on-one. So I'm really proud of him for that. Chase Young was possibly his best game as a Saint. 1.5 sacks, strip sack, 4 total tackles, and a pass deflection. I mean, there's some guys on
16 points essentially. I mean, they got the 23 off of the defensive score in there as well. So
yeah, that was a great
lifelessness from the offense. It was
dead.
There were opportunities.
Media availability on Monday. Kellen Moore took good accountability for the play calling. He said that he is going to do a better job at calling, so it should matter who's that quarterback. I mean, when you got plays on 3rd and short or 3rd and long, and nobody's even getting to the first down marker in the route tree, you're setting up the guy for failure. That's not that's not how you keep Rattler on your roster to develop him. That's how we use our first round pick on like Crick and Mendoza or Chambliss or whoever, Archie Manning,
whoever it might be.
Yeah, like it's just gonna waste it, man. Where's the integrity and the pride from our skill position dudes? None of them want to get traded. I love the loyalty, but when it gets onto the field, it seems like they want to sometimes. So it's like if Chris Olave gets the ball ripped out of his hands by a DB on any other team on a 2nd down and short play with clear blocking in front of him, I think he's out the league. Because majority of the other teams in this league are competing and, they know how to pick up a good player in the draft and, with the trade, things like that. So, a lot of teams want to win.
I don't know. Saints are they're in this weird kind of purgatory right now where it's like there's a lot of concerns for the future, but you can also see a lot of positives, and it's just like what are you gonna get?
So there's positives for the future, and then we got 5 draft picks coming up. It's like
that's positive.
All right.
Well, hey, on a little bit of a lighter note, Broncos looked great.
Dominant game. Everyone hates the Cowboys, right?
Oh yeah. I love my TikTok algorithm is absolutely devious because now I just keep getting posts from last week from Cowboys fans talking all this smack, being like, we're gonna put belt to ass against the ponies and we're Cowboys are gonna whoop them sorry ass Broncos, things like that. And it's just like, all right. It's just so satisfying to see that after we destroyed them. Absolutely. I mean, this was Bo Nix. He messed up on that throw at the beginning of the game. Maybe it was a miscommunication, or I'm just choosing to believe that because I don't know how he threw that so far behind Pat Bryant, except for maybe I think he expected him to stop there. Maybe Bryant ad-libbed the route. That's all I got for defensive Bo Nix on that interception. But he locked in after that. The offensive line was great. And I mean, Look, would Dallas be in a much better spot if Micah Parsons was here? No, but it wouldn't be so laughably bad. I mean, against
Could be a little bit better.
I don't know if they even pressured Bo once. He didn't get
No.
sacked. And like I said, he had like 4 seconds to throw. So I mean, he can get the ball out quick, but he was like, I'm just gonna sit here, and we got Franklin's getting open. There's Mims open deep. We're gonna.
If there's any team built in the trenches, man, it's Denver.
That's what I love about
that
this.
O-line and D-line just has bodies.
Yeah.
They keep bringing in guys that are insanely efficient in your
That's
scheme.
why
It's
I
crazy.
think we've got the possibility to just win any football game. I mean, we were out there destroying the Cowboys front. That's without Ben Powers. Ben Powers is on IR, so we're on our third string right tackle or left guard rather, and despite that, just these gaping holes for Javonte and RJ to run through. Harvey had a 40-yard touchdown scamper. He had the hat trick. It was nice.
That freaking that 40-yard run. Did you see McGlinchey on that play?
Are you talking about Quinn Myers? It was
Quinn Myers. Dude got 2 pancake blocks on
and
that play. That was nasty.
Laid out 2 people. They turned around and just basically set like an offensive lineman pick where he arms like this and just stood in front of the linebacker, and the guy just ran clean into him.
Blasted right into him.
Yeah. No, he was. I mean, his tape in that game was. He might have been the most dominant player on offense, which is crazy to say because Harvey had 3 touchdowns. Franklin 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix threw for 4 TDs, but I mean, he was just moving people, and you just
the brick wall
linebackers and DBs in a horror situation where you've got that big fella coming down,
freight train running full speed at you.
Nothing you can do at that point, and
getting out on the second level as a lead blocker, full speed, and Harvey still has some time to catch up to him because he blew up the defensive tackle that quickly and got up to the second level. He's a lead blocker downfield.
I'll give, to be fair to the Dallas, I think both of their starting safeties were out, as well as what's his name? Trayvon Diggs. So very banged up in the secondary too. And it was just all too easy. And anytime Dallas did put together a good drive, because this is still the best offense in the league, and they put together some solid drives on us. I'll give them that. Denver just answered it immediately. I mean, it was they're scoring by quarter 14-13, only 3 in the third, and then 14 again in the fourth. Nice that we were able to spread it all out over one quarter and maintain a lead instead of doing it all at the very end of the game.
Right, it was a consistent game.
Making me hate my life.
It was a clean game.
Pull off the sweep against the NFC East. He just might.
Got a chance.
Dude, he is. Bo Nix is, let's see, what's his record now up to? 7-1 against the NFC. His only loss was his first ever start on the road in Seattle. It was only by 6 points. So
that was a game you guys just didn't really have a lot of offensive success.
That was a brand new team trying to figure itself out,
Still got 20 points late in that game, so it wasn't too bad.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Troy Franklin, though. I mean, really, like him and Mims. Like Mims last week, especially Mims didn't have a catch this week, but we got him involved in the running game. But like Mims last week made some big catches to help that comeback stay alive. this week, Troy Franklin was, running his routes really well, and he's just getting open a lot. So I like what I'm seeing out of those guys, and we finally getting Pat Bryant sprinkled in there a little bit too. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Looking at the box score right here, it seems like this is what Bronco fans want. There's no Nate Adkins receptions. There's no Adam Troutman in the Denver receiving box score here. It seems like it's something you guys want. 15 carries out of Dobbins.
Spreading the ball around. I mean, just getting the playmakers chances to make plays. I mean, that was what like Art Harvey catching kind of like a little leak out route and everything. Like it was just good. Sean Payton, really great play calling. And Bo was pretty accurate and on time for the most part. So that like it's been I think it's been a bit of a combination of both of those two. Like we're, I don't know if you can hear that. That's my cat.
I can quietly in the background.
Sounds a lot louder in person. But like Bo has been, has been missing some shots that Peyton will draw up for him. And so then Peyton will, go conservative play calling for him. But they're starting to kind of get on the same page there, which is dangerous. I like that Pat Bryant's getting involved. That was an absolute beauty of a first touchdown reception. Great throw. And I do justice for my guy, Riley Moss, dude. These refs just can't fathom the idea that a honky can play cornerback. I just think it's in their mind, they're like, no, there's no way he's playing good defense there. He's got to be calling PI. They got him for a legitimate one when they called him for it twice in the end zone and Dallas.
Those were okay, right?
Well, the first one was, he definitely grabbed CD coming out of his break, but the other one, I'm like, it's got he got his hand on him. Come on, that's pretty standard. It wasn't like he was grabbing. It's just kind of hand here, got his head around the best he could, put a hand up. I'm like, I just don't know what. That was good defense. You can't. Why are you calling that?
So those ticky-tacky, those BS calls, man, where they're letting other guys get physical and just not on one side of the play. It's stupid.
Yeah.
They want to call it early and then not late in the game. It's be consistent. If you're going to make a bad call.
Moss has been having a really good season, actually. He's been making a lot of nice defense plays. It's just he gets thrown at so much. And so
it's his technique. He trails a lot.
Yeah.
So if he gets matched up Turpin got that touchdown because he just can torch him, and Riley Moss is already going to be trailing him, he just can't catch up. So there's certain plays where he is going to get burnt just because of how he does play the position.
It's not even he's been getting torched where he's just nowhere in the play. It's just, he's
a step or two.
He's just not in a great spot to make a play on the good pass. And so it's a good throw. He just kind of has no hope of defending. And that was the Colbert touchdown. He was there, but Joe Milton dropped that.
It was right in the bucket.
Bread basket. What are you
no chance. Unless you got a 40-inch vert out of a full sprint like you're LeBron, you're not swatting that pass.
Yeah, that's he's usually there. It's just the ball's placed in a really good spot. It's never he's just 5 yards away from the defender, totally shook out of his socks. He's usually close, really close, and has a slight chance. It's just the ball placements doesn't give him much of an opportunity to make a play.
They should have him try to jam more and bump and run if he's going to trail, and just have him get physical so that he has more of a chance later in the route.
I think I think Joseph doesn't like to do that a whole lot just because they like to blitz a lot, and so the philosophy
That's true.
Is you're you don't want
give
to
up the beat,
be able to get over the top of you and let the QB throw over the top. if they're gonna get the ball out quickly, they gotta throw it short, and like he'd rather you have to come up and make the tackle. So, like I said, Justice for him, I think he gets penalized a little too much. Like he's not committing PI nearly at the rate he's getting called for. It's been some bad calls going this way, and just with the sheer volume that he's seeing, he's having a good season. And he'll be
His play style fits your guys' scheme, so it's not like he's in a bad spot.
He'll be CB1 here for a few weeks, man. Surtan's out at least 4 weeks with a pectoral injury. We're going to get to see some more Jahdae Barron, who also got his first career interception. Broncos add 2 more sacks to their historic pace that they're on. And
defense is crazy. How do you guys have this freaking all defensive defense every year? It's top notch. Doesn't matter if your offense is crappy, you still got a good defense to watch.
One thing about that John Elway has been really good at as our GM, and something that George Payton has really elevated, is just defensive talent. I mean, dude, like Nick Benito, we got that guy at pick 64. You know, like Riley Moss was a late round pick. McMillan, I think, was an undrafted free agent. They've sneaked like Malcolm Roach and DJ Jones, DeAndre Tillman from the UFL, like big signings there. And they just, we've got a great rotation of guys here. So I'm excited to see what Barron's going to get to do. And Chris Abrams trained. He came in there, played a lot with Surtain being hurt. He looked pretty solid too. I mean, like for CD and Pickens, I mean, to hold those two to 78 and 74 yards receiving and no touchdowns between the two of them, I'll take that, man. Like I'll take that, especially with PS2 out most of the game. Huge win for my Broncos, man.
Should we go over to Thursday night? The 37-10 beatdown. Vikings O-line.
Dude, it's
looking pretty rough.
And
Wentz under pressure way too much.
He's done for the season. He's got to get shoulder surgery on.
So Max Brosmer next week, hey?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think JJ McCarthy's faking it. I don't think he wants to go in behind that offensive line. He's like, oh,
no way. He gets smashed.
He's like, oh no, I liked playing behind Harbaugh's line in Michigan. Those guys never let me get touched. I'm not going. You want me to go out there and play against in a division that's got Micah Parsons, Aiden Hutchinson, Montez Sweat? Hell no. He's like, I'm good. Elaine McNeil's getting healthy. He's chilling. Yeah, that was just the story, was Wentz under duress. And I mean,
he also had a whole offseason of Jonathan Grenard getting after him. So he found out pretty early the offensive line wasn't too great.
Right. And that was on the other side. Grenard did record the sack in this one. Same with Jonathan Allen. But Herbert, for the most part, O-line's a bit healthier. Joe Alt is finally back. And yeah, he was just back there picking them apart. And then they really got to the Chargers we expected to see, where they just ran the ball great. And Herbert, with his legs, has been like, Herbert's just got to like take off more, man. When he runs,
you might as well
good things happen for that offense. And Vidal was fantastic in this one, averaging 5.1 a carry, the touchdown. And yeah, it came down to the trenches being so one-sided on both sides of the ball, and then that it just there was such dominance on one aspect that the other team just flourished there.
Yeah.
So really the most important thing, like I know like the QB, you got to have somebody at least serviceable. I mean, you can't have just a total bum back there. A good wide receiver is really, or a running back, just somebody that's a dynamic playmaker on offense is important. Really, you can get away with having some being weaker in those areas if you're just really dominant in the trenches. That's the beauty about football is that the flat we all like the flash, but you can not a lot of people will realize that like where these big guys inside that are doing all the ugly work are really having biggest impact on the game. But as true football fans, we get to appreciate that. But yeah. The return to form too here for this Jesse Minter defense, which started the year really impressive.
10.
Had a bit of a slump there, but they're getting back to it. I think they're getting healthier, and they're figuring out just this defensive pass rush. Tuipulotu, hopefully I said that right. I think I got it. Was doing some great things, just blitzing it on these blitz plays. Same with like Henley, even though he didn't get to the QB. And like you look at the D line, it's like not like a ton of like big names outside like Khalil Mack, like household names, but Odafe Owe they got from the Ravens. Abegi, you know what? I don't want to like go and get Justin had 2 sacks in this one, number 92. Some guys like they're just like when the pressure schemes are working, man, they just are able to get after you. So big win there for the Chargers. Where to next, Caveman? You want to talk about the Falcons?
Yeah, because that's always good to see.
Right, you can take some pride in that. They got embarrassed by one of the worst teams.
Continuing to be the most inconsistent squad in the NFL.
Dude, you were playing like the most turnover prone and like inaccurate, all over the place quarterback in the league this year, and he had one eye, and he carved him up. 2026, 205, 4 touchdowns. And I just gotta, all right, like this Miami Dolphins run defense. Do you want to know how many yards per game they were allowing and how many yards they'd given up? They were allowing 145 yards. This has gone down a bit actually after this one, but like I think going into this one, they were allowing like around 152 yards per game. You have
and Falcons got 45
back. Bijan and Tyler Algier, like who have rushed like 200 yards on like way better fronts, couldn't do nothing.
No, they tried to go to Nathan Carter in this one.
Yeah,
but having no Penix makes your offense about as dynamic as a Ritz cracker, because you really have nothing with that guy. He's starting to become washed.
Yeah, man. Kirk Cousins is like the anti Joe Flacco. It's not looking good. That's a really expensive subpar backup quarterback.
It's like the threat of the run game when you have Michael Penix is that much more dangerous. And he actually brings a different threat to a defense that they just don't have to watch out for when Kirk Cousins is on the field. It is just like a night and day difference with this team. The play calling is completely different. And they had no Drake London in this as well.
And I mean, if I'm being honest, man, I think Kirk's arm is just shot. He just doesn't. The ball doesn't seem to have the same zip on it, and I feel like the defense realizes that early on, like very quick. Like he's not, even if they do try to go deep, like he's not going to be able to like really push it too far. Like something shot there, and he can't really can't really push the ball down the field like you used to, and so you've got the defense just creeping down, crashing the box the whole game. Yeah, like Miami also just the Falcons like had to abandon the run pretty quickly because Miami just kept scoring, but also holding the ball for so long, and you just had to start throwing it. So should Tua play with an eye patch the rest of the season?
You might as well. I mean, he was pretty good in this one.
Kind of worked.
4 touchdowns and no. I was expecting a 3 interception game from him again.
Oh, me too.
No.
Like how bad their line's been playing and how well Jeff Ulbricht's been, scheming that pass rush and everything this year for Atlanta. I was like, I really expected them to just be all over Tua and for him to just be handing out presents again. But they kept him upright. They ran the ball pretty well as well, and just this was a shocker. Like on the road, Atlanta just got blanked in their own house. Not having Drake London there too also really just takes away a lot of the deep threat of this offense. I'm loving the combination of Ollie Gordon and Devon H. And that's been a lone bright spot for the Dolphins. I'll say that.
Let's move on now to our game of the week. Jets coming down with their first win of the year, going to 1-7.
Thriller,
over the
Bengals. They scored
23rd
in the fourth quarter too. Like that.
Oh my god!
Like they really had to storm back in this one, man. It looked like they were gonna, like they built a comfortable lead, and it was just like the Jets' offense is gonna need too anemic to come back, and it's it's 31-16 going into the fourth quarter.
Not a bad game from Fields or Flacco.
Credit, man. Like Fields, after getting called out publicly by the team owner, really good game. 244 on the touch. Flacco still was slinging it pretty well. Samaje Perine renaissance or resurgence, whatever you want to call it. 94 yards on 9 carries. But
if anyone randomly added him.
Yeah, down the stretch, Breece Hall was the difference maker here. Like I said, he just was nuclear. The yards after contact, the explosive runs, 2 touchdowns, and then that trick play. Game on the line, winless season on the line, getting your first win of the season. And the Jets decided that they'd rather have Breece Hall throwing that football than Justin Fields.
He got the touchdown, though. Tyler Johnson. Or was that one? It was just a Mason Taylor.
That was Mason Taylor. Yeah.
What a game, though. Aaron Glenn.
Mason Taylor, that's a guy, like, sucks he's on the Jets because, like, I feel like if he was on a better offense, could be having a much different season right now. But I was pretty hyped on him as a tight end prospect, but the Jets just got nothing's really besides this game, not a whole lot's been working for him.
You think they'd be able to get something to work with Taylor when you got Justin Fields and Breece Hall, and you kind of have like his play action threat, leak your tight end out,
right? And some bootlegs or something like that.
Like that's what I was thinking was probably going to be like their main focus to do with him, because like that's where Justin Fields looks the best. Aside from like being a runner, like he can do well in the bootlegs and getting outside, making plays that way. So, but they got the win here, and they're no longer winless. There's no more winless teams in the NFL.
I said the Dolphins or not the Dolphins, the Browns and the Lions pop that champagne. The winless seasons are still intact.
Now, the Browns game. We got to talk about another defensive performance getting squandered. It wasn't just the Saints defense and their performance getting ruined. Myles Garrett, too. Getting 5 sacks in this game.
5.
It's a career team record. I think it was an NFL record too.
No, what's his name? Derek Thomas had 7 in the game back in the
Okay.
2020s, but it was up there with one of the tied for second best. With I know Khalil Mack did it one time. There's some other people, Strahan maybe.
But he had a field day on Will Campbell, rookie,
Right.
that they just picked up on the Patriots. So yeah, he was giving him definitely a welcome to the NFL moment, getting by him almost every play.
Campbell's been pretty good this year too, but like Miles Garrett's just something else entirely. This is a guy who's 6'4" and 272 and can somehow but has like 4.4 40 speed and unreal agility and flexibility.
It's insane.
The bend, it's like the speed and the power. I mean, good, Look, you're still a rookie kid. There's bound to happen to you. Well, it didn't even matter. I want to root for Dylan Gabriel, but it's becoming pretty apparent that he's just not
Maybe try
a starting quarterback in the league. I don't even know if he's really a backup man. I mean, he just doesn't have a super strong arm. He's small. It's just like
I don't think his game really translated too much from Oregon to the NFL.
To read the defense. Maybe it's just the Browns, but he just for a quarterback with his limitations, the Browns is not the team that's going to allow him to thrive. Like he would just need a much better environment. Yeah, two interceptions in this one. I mean, just pull the plug, dude. Let Shador play, man. At this point, like, dude, Gabriel has won one game since taking over the starting job, and that was
he didn't win at all. Oh wait, yeah, they did win.
But like, and that wasn't even really like
Judkins.
Anything because he did. It was because Tua threw 3 interceptions that like put them inside the 20 every time.
Yeah,
one was
Sean Judkins ran all over. The Dolphins too.
Did what he wanted. Like Gabriel, I think, had like 109 yards. I might be paraphrasing, but like it was all that defense, and so you can't even really like he's got one win, but you can't even really attribute anything that he's done to it. Like so, you're in the same boat with Flacco, except like Flacco might honestly be doing better. He just didn't, you're the Browns, like old man Joe Flacco, not great physical tools. Dylan Gabriel, they're just not going to really thrive in that situation. I mean, like Shador's he's got some good escapability. He's got a decently strong arm, and he's accurate, and he can throw fairly well against pressure. Like his biggest flaw is that he runs into, it makes bad sacks worse, or doesn't know when to get rid of the ball. But if anybody's going to make what you got work on this very limited roster, I think it's Shador.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. On the other side of things, man, Drake May looking elite.
Dude,
he's looking like a real good quarterback in this league, man.
He is so good. The deep ball connection between him and Kayshon Boutte is crazy too. I mean, it's like I feel like they hit on like a 40+ yard touchdown every week, bro. I mean, they got some unreal connection there. I mean, and then you got like Mac Hollins is going off in this one.
Yeah, 90 yards, 89 and 7 catches.
They're finally like running the ball a bit more with Travion Henderson. So like,
yeah, they're fine. They're going to their back that's not going to fumble. Let's go.
Like Ramondre is like a good change of pace, power type of back, but like I think like Henderson just gives you more speed, more explosiveness. I think he's better out of the backfield. Like it's just
I think he had a pretty
Ramondre's
nice
still a very
reception.
serviceable back, but like it's just like I think Henderson in the running game is going to just do more for you. So I think they're finally starting to get to that. Yeah. Despite getting sacked 5 times, man, it was still really accurate. 282, had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, almost lost the fumble because Myles Garrett got around. I think Garrett really had something to do with that interception too, influencing that. It's hard to feel bad for Myles, man. This is could have saw a trade, but he decided to take the money. So
Yep, they decided to take the money.
here you are.
Wants to win. Wants to win now that they paid him. That's what it is.
I do feel like the Browns kind of maybe gave him the assumption that like we're still going to try to win, and you're a big part of that. That's why we're giving you all this money. It's like, or they just didn't want to have another Nick Chubb on their hands.
Yes, seriously. It's like
Browns fans have had just so little as like they already got to live in Cleveland, and then this is their football team. So it's just they're like, yeah, stay. You got to stay just as some small act of mercy.
Hopefully, none of them are fans of any other football team besides Ohio State over there.
Yeah,
she got Miami of Ohio. That's not good. And the Ohio Bobcats also not.
They're a good MAC team. Bobcats are always competitive in the MAC, so I mean they give you some.
They're okay, but Cleveland. This is a sad day. I mean, they still packed out the stadiums when they were going 0-16, but that's just because people wanted to see them not win. It wasn't even because they were there to see him win. They were just there.
They love football in that town, man, but football does not love them. It's kind of it's a great modern day tragedy, really. These people that are obsessed with something that and so in love with something that costs them so much heartache.
Yeah.
Should we move on? Eagles and Giants here, huh?
Yeah, we had a really sad injury in this one. Down goes Scattaboo.
Potential rookie of the year candidate. And yeah, the lack of playmakers for Dart to go to. I mean, the guy's doing his best. The line's still not that good. And the Eagles were definitely a lot more in form this week. They sacked him 5 times. The running game was back for Philly a bit more. Barkley had 150, but Tank Bigsby, man, also going off.
He had some nice carries in this one.
Yeah, they had 276 yards as a team as Philly, which, that's what they want to be doing. The Eagles.
Barkley kept breaking off for huge runs. Was on the sideline with the oxygen tank. Man, they had to get Tank Bigsby some carries in there. His first carry of the day was a touchdown.
Yep. Ripped off a 65-yarder. Caught a touchdown pass as well. Jalen Hurts with 4 TDs, 15-20. Only 179, but, I mean, again, a lot of rushing yards. They didn't not many opportunities to throw it, but, I mean, they got another red zone. They trusted Jalen to throw the football.
I think the last few weeks, their offenses looked better in the passing game, too. Kind of opened it up a little bit.
Got that deep ball connection back. Hit Jahan Dotson deep. Devontae Smith still doing great. No A.J. Brown out with an injury this week. Yeah, Eagles are returning to form. I think they're just getting healthier and getting more. They're back to basics on the play calling and really that identity that they have as a team. They're trying to establish that in the game. So big 38-20 win for them. Giants fans, man, you all just can't have anything. Signing young players, getting hurt. Big
He's
road,
got a
big win
fright
on the
heart.
road, give up a heartbreaking comeback. Winning season, just nothing. Giants fans aren't that happy.
It's rough.
New York is New Jersey, I should say, is just a pit, a black pit for football. Because the state of New York has a really great football team in the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
And they showed everybody that again. Hey, we're still Buffalo on Sunday. And I mean, right now, like James Cook's been the most impactful player for the Bills this season. When he is going on the ground, getting a good push up front for him. I mean, the offense is nearly unstoppable. And Josh Allen getting down when they get down to the goal line, doing his best Jalen Hurts impression. I mean, like, time for me to get the touchdown, Cook. Thanks. And snagging it. Yeah, Allen only had to throw 19 passes in this game, 35 carries, and 245 on the ground.
Just killing them.
216 of that came from James Cook, too. So, pretty much all him. Only 20 yards from other people.
He got it done, man. That's my fantasy GOAT right there on 2 different teams. He's a legend.
And then on the other side, Andy Dalton, big dog.
What was he doing in this game, man? He was. There was some plays he's trying to escape the pocket. He could just throw it away, and he's like pump faking and trying to make a play. Throws a pick. I'm like, what? They got into the red zone too. They could have had a field goal.
And you weren't even all that good at doing this when you were in your like prime on Cincinnati. Like, why are we trying to do this at 38 years old?
Now's not the time.
Panthers offensive line. Like, let's stop it, man.
Yeah, let's stop it. Let's not improvise at this point in your career.
Let's
just keep the drive going.
Good game for Tet McMillan. Some catches for 99 yards.
He's looking like legit wide receiver one.
If I'm Carolina, do I try to trade Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard? Because like both of them healthy, trying to like split carries behind them, and like neither of them really gets going. Like I think you trade one of those guys. Call me crazy, but like
true.
Try to get some draft capital for him. And like I would probably try to trade Chuba. I think Dowdle's a better back for you, and he's definitely a volume back. You've got Trevor Etienne, the rookie out of Georgia, there who is a solid, change of pace back for you. But I would try to trade one of those guys. I just think it's too crowded back there in that backfield. But yeah, pure dominance out of here. That was a crazy interception. Who was it that had that? I think it was AJ Epinesa.
I think so. It was one of the linebackers that got it.
Yeah, it was. Where like he like initially batted it down and kicked it back up and caught it, nearly housed it. Like that was a crazy heads up play.
Wow, the Panthers were in the red zone too. They were just giving the ball away. It was unfortunate. But the Bears were looking to go on a 5-game streak, go into Baltimore.
Against a hopeless-looking Ravens team.
Scoop got him, dude.
Don't sleep on Scoop.
Snoop Huntley, man.
Snoop, right?
Yeah, Snoop.
Okay, not Scoop.
My bad. He was lighting him up. Roma Dunze, his 114 yards were not enough for the Bears because they couldn't find the end zone in the first half. No. They had their first drive was in field goal range, and they didn't see that until late in the first. And they kicked another one. They didn't get back past the 50 until when they scored that touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. They missed a fourth down attempt deep in Ravens territory, trying to go for 6, and it didn't really work out for him.
And they threw a pick, giving the ball up in the second half, already deep in your own territory. Well, it was a easy touchdown for the Ravens.
Caleb didn't even really play that bad, I don't think. I mean, 285, could have had a touchdown. Certainly didn't get a lot of help out of the run, which has been pretty crucial for the Bears these past few weeks. And on the opposite side, the Ravens finally got back to just running the football. Henry, 71 yards. Huntley, 53. Keaton Mitchell, 43. But, hey, man, credit to, what's his name, Zach Orr, defensive coordinator for the Ravens. I know a lot of people probably call him for his job, but
coached a good one in this.
Got some of his best guys. Kyle Smith or Roquan Smith rather, and Kyle Hamilton are just menaces at the defensive line and against the run too. They were blowing up a lot of those runs in the backfield. So Baltimore, I mean, with the Steelers dropping one, the Jets getting the win over the Bengals, Lamar gets healthy. They're through the more difficult part of their schedule. Like, let's see what Baltimore still got. But, I mean, they've already played the Lions. They've already played the Chiefs, the Rams,
They got it out the
Bills.
way.
I mean, that's a lot of tough teams. Like, they got the Dolphins next. I mean, they'll have to play the Steelers twice. They got the Vikings in there who, I mean, who knows what their situation is going to be. I mean, the Patriots in week 16 looking like the toughest, and they got the Packers, so week 16, 17, it could be tough for them, but I mean, a lot of very winnable games, especially if Lamar is back and healthy and this offense is playing the way it was before he left, 30 or 41, 41 and 30 before he got hurt. Could they return the form? I mean,
they got a chance to finish out the season, maybe
Steelers
7-8 losses.
Did a bad job of trying to build a little cushion here. A couple of losses. Bengals, they had a chance to potentially put themselves in the first place, and then they get a bad loss. So I would just say, man, Baltimore, that'll be a scary team down the stretch, that's for sure.
Definitely.
The Texans playing the 49ers. I mean, the Niners gave it a good fight for how banged up they are, but it's just like
it's a freaking hospital over there.
So many injuries, and Stroud had a very type of silence in the haters game, throwing
30 of 39. Absolutely balled out in this game. Two touchdowns.
Like I said, he looked very comfortable. They just weren't getting a ton of pressure. 0 sacks and a lot of clean pockets for CJ. And I mean, they got a pretty loaded wide receiver core. Noel and Higgins, the two impressive rookies. No Nico Collins or Christian Kirk today. Tank Dell's obviously still out. Despite that,
they still got the dub. A good all-around game from him here.
Braxton Berrios making an appearance. Love to see that. That's my guy. Big Braxton Berrios fan. They do got the Broncos next week.
That's going to be tough.
Against their O-line against our defensive line.
That's going to be tough.
CJ could be in for a long day. I don't want to jinx anything, though. They are the home team, and they got us last time we played in CJ's rookie year. That was an awesome end zone interception Russell Wilson threw with a chance to go up and take the lead.
I remember that.
Don't let Russ cook. All right.
Now we're going to the Colts, man. Colts take on the Titans at home, and it was a commanding one. Michael Pittman went off 8 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. And
Wow,
of course,
one catch
Jonathan Taylor.
that he had though, like with the defender draped all over him.
How does
That
he
was
even
on-
catch that? That is perfect throw, perfect catch.
Didn't it, like off the like that was like the shoulder that had like was hooked up under and like had that guy's arm in there where he was kind of getting interfered with, and he just like pinned it against his side perfectly.
There's no other place that ball could have been thrown where it was able to be caught either. That's the craziest thing. If he throws it, it probably gets swatted out of his hand if it's out in front of him a little bit. It was just right in Pittman's side where he could just close his arm on it. That catch was insane.
And the Colts low-key got one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and that's Alec Pierce beyond 30 yards. This guy is an elite deep threat, man. They be hitting him for some bombs, and he just delivers. Only 2 catches, but I mean they were 2 huge ones. One for 50 yards. Ooh. Excuse me, guys. One for 50 yards. Getting Josh Downs involved some more. Jonathan Taylor, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving, and 174 scrimmage yards. MVP, man. Taylor's been.
Gave it to him now.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean, they won't, bro. But he's.
This is just going to be a crazy offensive player of the year season.
He's like on pace with like what LT did for terms of like total touchdowns, because he's got 12 rushing. Let me find his receiving touchdowns. 12 rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving. So he is at 14. LT set the record for rushing and receiving touchdowns with 31.
Dang.
So we're about 8 weeks in, and he is, call it just over halfway.
Yeah.
And have the Colts had their bye yet? I think they have. So,
no, because they're 7-1.
Oh yeah. Okay. So call it roughly 9 games. I think if I'm doing the math correct, to go in the season, 9 games to get 17 more touchdowns.
That's pretty easy. They're not even on bye week next week. I don't think they're on bye until like week 12. Let's see if it's week 10.
And I mean, like, it's not like they have a lot of tough, steep competition. I mean, the Steelers, that's who they play next. Team that's been getting absolutely carved up. Falcons.
Yeah, they got their bye is week 11, so they could potentially go 9-1 into the bye with a few more touchdowns than Jonathan Taylor's belt.
Yeah, the Falcons will, for some reason, lock in and play them really well.
Yeah, it'll be the one game that Jonathan Taylor has like 80 yards.
No touchdowns, yeah. That's an international game. That one's in
Oh, yeah.
the night. I think that's the one in Spain.
No, I think it's in Berlin.
Yeah, no, that one's in Berlin. Or no, it's in Frankfurt. They're mixing it up. They're hitting a different city. Okay. And then week after is in Madrid. That's right.
That's pretty sweet, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they go Steelers, then they go Falcons, and then they have a bye week, and they're out of the bye. They're at Kansas City.
That should be a great game.
Huge.
It's going to be a test to see what's really up.
Yeah, I mean, they really could be 9-1 going into that game. I wouldn't be surprised. They got the best record in the NFL. And I mean, after that, it's Houston games that they're hoping, the Texans are hoping will be a big game, but I can see it not being. I mean, Jacksonville is scrappy. Then they got the Seahawks and Niners will be some tough ones. So it'll get a little tougher down the stretch, but I mean, The Texans' run defense isn't that great. The Jags has been pretty good, but I mean they haven't. This front hasn't really faced this Colts offensive line. I mean it's up there with the Broncos for one of the best units in the league. Indy's they're just rolling. Let me just pull up their offensive ranks as a team too, actually, because it's absurd. They're sixth in passing yards per game, sixth in rushing yards, but they're first in points for with 30. Basically, we'll just call it 34, pretty much.
Ah.
And if you look at, they're first in total yards per game too. They're averaging 385 yards. Yeah, I mean, we say Dallas is the best offense in the league. Man, really, it's actually
it's the Colts.
Yeah, I was just saying that to gas up the Broncos defense, but I mean, it's really the Colts. I mean, they're outgaining everybody, outscoring everybody. We'll see. Like I said, this schedule gets a little more challenging. Not those other NFC South teams don't feel that threatening though. So I think it's more so like that. Those NFC West teams, which are really good, and the Chiefs.
That's who they got to worry about. Yeah.
The Steelers' defense has got to lock in, or else Indy's going to put up a 50 burger on them. If they're playing like they played this Sunday night, let's go over there, shall we?
Packers pulling off a nice little comeback, 13-7 or 16-7 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Down a bit, and Tucker Kraft going insane.
7 touchdowns,
dude.
143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, they were just they hit that Love threw that kind of prayer up for him where he goes up at high points over the guy and then just takes off running. That was insane. And then they were just trying to get him swings, screens. He is so fast and so powerful that you just get him moving downhill and it's it's a lot of yak that you're going to get there. Well, the other side, I mean, Rodgers didn't really have the support of a run game. It was about the same as Jordan Love's, but dealing with a lot better and more consistent pass rush. Mike Parsons was getting after him. Only had 1 sack, but a lot of pressures. And TJ Watt, conversing on the other side, just doesn't. He was nice against the run game, but it just doesn't feel like he's been super impactful rushing the passer this year, has it?
It really hasn't. Compared to last year, where he was already at about 11 sacks at this point in the season, around there last year.
This year,
he is way down in the list now.
Yes, 4. Okay, it's 4 sacks. It's not. I mean, for how much he's getting paid, that's pretty terrible. I mean, that's like half a sack.
That's like vet numbers on D line. I get he is a veteran. I mean, Cameron Jordan last year had 4 sacks. He's up there.
Do they have his contract on here? Because it's big. He has a big contract too, dude.
He makes an insane amount of money.
I mean, you take away all non-quarterback contracts, like Micah Parsons and TJ Watts are the 2 largest, even bigger than Myles Garrett. I'm going to look this up real quick. Yeah. I mean, this just really boiled down to the Steelers had absolutely no answers for Jordan Love.
Yeah, in the pass game, he was able to just pick them apart.
Aaron Rodgers
out there having his way.
Hasn't been able to beat the Packers. We'll see if he gets another shot at it, but I don't know. Yes, TJ Watt's got a $123 million extension. What's that?
Dang.
The contract. So 123 million plus probably some more. It's an extension. So I mean, yeah, a guy you're paying 41 million a year essentially is getting you half a sack a game. Not good. Not good at all.
And it has reached noon, everybody.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
gonna have to get to that Monday game tomorrow morning.
Not really anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Man, there's worse. The Chiefs were dicking around in the first half. They locked in the second and
they took over.
Had no chance. I was just Marcus Mariota against Steve Spagnuolo. Wasn't much of a contest. I'm not gonna lie.
That's rough. That's rough. But that's been the football frenzy for today, everybody. We will be back tomorrow morning for our full Sports Equinox episode. We got a lot to cover. I got some good NHL fight clips to show tomorrow. Got some MLB World Series home runs and game winners. Great pitching in that one to bring it to 18 innings. So we got a lot of good stuff for you. This NBA season's been red hot, like HG was saying.
The year.
So
we brought with another episode of Team Builder and their weekly pick 'em. It's going to be an action-packed 2 hours tomorrow, so you're not going to want to miss it.
That's right. Stick with us, everybody. We'll be back next week. It's been HG and Caveman on the Football Frenzy, and we'll see you next week.
Justice Jackson, they captured Herman Goring alive.
Tell me about him.
He's the face of the Nazis. I'm going to put Goring on trial.
Edward escapes the hangman's noose. Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
Goring has to fall.
You don't just have to win, you have to be flawless.
You're walking into a trap.
Knowing what we know now, would you still follow Adolf Hitler?
Nuremberg, rated PG-13, opens November 7th, only in theaters.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.